No, I don't think they know. Our microphones aren't on, so we're good to talk about whatever we want.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be
Hi,
right.
Teeny.
I'll be right. What? I'm not teeny. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm. And yes, we do actually mean to stream this time.
Fine, I'll put pants on.
What's the fun in that? Kilts are where it's at. All that airflow. Pants. Ish. Gotta vote in chat. Who wants to see Cap in a dress? Or a kilt? I also love the fact that he is gone right now. And he can't see hear what I'm saying. He's only gonna discover what I'm saying when he watches this back when he edits it. Cap, you're a very nice man. And I am happy that we're friends.
If you were talking to me,
Anyway.
if you were talking to me, I couldn't hear you.
Oh
Exactly.
no. I mean, I kind of was talking. I was talking to future you.
Don't listen back to these. I barely have time to do the things, let alone go back and listen to them. I just hope for the best and post them.
Well, there you go.
Oh, here we go. Character names. Appendix B 175. Major items. Psychic screen. Here we go. Yeah.
Roll for initiative.
69. Huh?
I mean, I rolled a 61.
Oh, are we rolling? It's funny because I actually
I don't
didn't.
know.
Let's see. 52. You win. Yeah, here we go. Non-human names.
What was your D20 roll?
I didn't roll the d20.
Mm. Come on, do it.
16.
Damn it. I was hoping you were gonna get a 9 because I rolled a 6.
I mean, 9.
Uh-huh.
Oh, here we go. 5. Hi, everybody. 11 minutes. We're at 5 people. Well, okay then. Ready? Okay, now I'm gonna turn the audio on. Ready? Click, click, and now
Uh-huh.
transition over to video.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Hi, everybody who we didn't know was here and couldn't hear us. Oh, okay.
Chat, sound off.
We are Chad. Yes, we are. And this is
Who's
me
not
getting
dead?
not me. Let's see here. Let's see
Is that
here.
line who's not dead? Sound off. Isn't that
Is
the
it
fucking line from
Major Pain?
Atlantis?
Oh, is it Atlantis? That sounds right. See, I'm just thinking
It's
it.
the
Mhm.
yeah, it's the what's the name of the fucking movie with Milo in it? Something Atlantis.
I think it's just Atlantis.
Is it just Atlantis? I thought it was called Milo.
Atlantis, the Lost Empire. Pardon me.
Yes, that's it.
Uh, yeah, I broke out Xanathar's Guide to Everything because I was listening to Trevor Duvall, and he was talking about rolling for names in this, and I was like, oh, I did not realize that it had entire supplements in the back. Uh, so if we have it, well, we do. We have a character who does not yet have a name, and let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do we want to wait till we get to that individual, or do we want to roll for that now?
I'd say let's both roll, and then we'll have
See what
two
we can.
options to choose from.
Well, I'm gonna roll. There are 8 different. There's lists for non-human names, and then there's a whole bunch of lists for human names. Um, so there are 8 creature types. one of which is humans. Do we want to just roll on the humans name table? Okay. For that, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
Okay.
So do you want to roll or do you want me to roll?
Let's both roll and see what names it gives us, and then we can choose which one we like.
Well, see, there is a Celtic names list, and I'm kind of partial. But anyway, okay. So
Well, we can do both and then have 4 to choose from.
we could. So rolling the d20, I rolled an 8. That's Greek names. Well, so if I rolled an 8. That was human names. If we were going by all creature types. All right, let's see here. Let's see here. Do you want to roll the d100?
I can.
We both can. Let's see. Greek male. I got a 19 because that's my number. Not terribly thrilled with that. Go ahead.
26.
26 is Deimos, as in the one of the moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos.
What was the other one?
Brontes, Brontes,
Brontes.
Brontes,
Deimos?
Brontes
Or I rolled
Orus.
a 3 for
Human names.
yeah.
3 would have been. I know this is riveting, everybody. Welcome to Mythic. Let's see, 3 would be human names. 1 is Arabic, 2 is Celtic, 3 is Chinese.
Interesting.
Let's see what the Celtic name would be. If this individual's name were Celtic, what would it be? 55 is Egan, Eghan
Look at 50.
on Celtic.
E.
Donaghy, Donaghy, Donaghy.
Donahue, I think.
85 Morin. We can roll when we get there.
33.
Random event. Caradoc. That's very Arthurian. I think that was one. I think wasn't Sir Caradoc one of the Knights of the Round Table?
Oh, I'm not sure.
His name is
Graham?
Caradoc. His name is Caradoc Grant, otherwise known as Cary Grant.
Amazing. I'm here for it.
Done. Perfect. Right then. So I've updated our threads and our NPCs. I know where we left off. I don't remember everything that happened prior to that. I remember we left off with Goodwin and Avor, the messenger, riding out of the city, the previously unnamed sovereign city that has since gotten a name. Go ahead, you go.
Okay, so this is what I remember.
Perfect, even better.
Um, Goodwin was in a bar having a poker or some type of game tournament thing with somebody that he was researching or following to see if they were doing illegal shit. He was
Correct.
a one of the guards for the um treasury. He was trying to see if he was like maybe like siphoning gold or something.
Hmm.
While he was there, he has a messenger from the sovereign come up to him and be like, you were being, or he gave him a letter, and the letter he opened was on official stock and was a summons from the sovereign and from the chancellor of the Hierotech,
Hmm.
aka his dad.
So
Um, what?
Spoiler
We said
alert.
that last time.
I think we did. It's okay.
We did.
Wait, I'm gonna.
We did.
Wow. What?
So then the messenger and Goodwin go back to the sovereign's castle, and the guy who he had been uh,
Scouting.
interacting with decided that
Mm-hmm.
he was going to follow them to
Mm-hmm.
figure out what the fuck they were doing. The two get to the castle and are escorted in, while the guy outside approaches one of the guards and tries to bribe him to find out who and what that guy was doing and who he is. And the guard not only takes the money, but also arrests the guy for trying to bribe a
For
guard.
bribery.
Inside, the messenger takes Goodwin to the special, like, library, like, personal library of the sovereign, Shauna, and she and the chancellor then explained to Goodwin that the messenger who went and got him was actually part of a group of archaeologists that had been exploring some ruins about 300 miles away from the city of Zypros, and the messenger had gone off for some reason. I'm either going to the local town to deliver a message or whatever he was doing something he was supposed to do.
Doing
And when he came
messengerly
back, he
things.
discovered that the entire team of archaeologists was gone, and two of the guards were dead. So he figured they had been kidnapped, and went back to tell the sovereign and the chancellor. And so um, the two of them asked Goodwin to find out what happened, or where, if he can figure out where they were taken to or who took them or whatnot. And so the messenger, Avor, and excuse me, uh, Goodwin were tasked with going and traveling back. Avor is going to take him back to where the site is, and on their way out of the
Mm-hmm.
meeting room, um, they're in the main hall of the castle, and uh, the guard is bringing in the guy that Goodwin had been tracking to take him to the jail cells, and the guy makes a break for it and attempts to um, kill the sovereign. Is able to get his hands on a weapon and tries to kill the sovereign and ends up hitting the chancellor instead. Um, and all of this happens after Goodwin and Avor had already left. So
Mm-hmm.
um, they were did not know that this was happening until they got to the
No.
place where they were supposed to teleport out of the city, only
Mm-hmm.
to find that the entire city was in a lockdown because there was an
Yep.
attempt on the sovereign's life, which means that all teleportation spells and anything like that within the city limits are null. Any magic like that can't happen because of specific spell that they cast when something like this happens.
Yep.
And
Exactly.
so
This is effectively
somebody in
Washington.
the
This is Zypros is effectively Washington D.C. So it's got all of the magical defenses that a capital city where a head of state resides would have.
yeah. And so inside the teleportation area is absolute chaos. And amongst the chaos, some old person got injured. And
Mm-hmm.
so Avor is like, I'm going to stay here, help that, get them help. I'll meet you at the city gate. Go get us
Mm-hmm.
some horses.
Yeah.
And so Goodwin goes and tries to negotiate some stuff with the guy who has some horses. Asks the horses if they're willing to teleport with Goodwin
I don't think
and
we asked about
Avor,
the
to which the horses are
teleportation.
like, sure.
No, we didn't ask about the teleportation. Goodwin had
No, we didn't.
because Cap doesn't have a good sense of how horses actually like their intelligence. Cap was like, oh, Cap treated them like cars. Cap's like, if there's two cars and one person, then we need somebody to drive the other car to the place. And then there needs to be another person with another car to drive that person back, not thinking like, no, they're horses. You just go back to the stable and they know.
You just
And so
you
the
just
so
put a lead on the second one that you need and
yeah.
take it. with you.
So the hostler had speak with animals, and the hostler listened to Goodwin tell this whole complicated, like treating them like they were cars. And the hostler just turns to the horses and are like, "You can take this idiot out to the gate, right? Yeah." And the horses are like, "Yeah, we got this moron." And Goodwin was like,
But I'm
"Cool."
pretty sure he also asked if they were willing to teleport with them.
That's possible. I don't specifically remember that, but we'll find that out too.
We will. And so by the time that
I
he
ran
gets
somebody
the
over.
horses all taken care of.
I ran somebody
Oh
over
yeah,
on the
you
way
ran
back.
somebody over.
Yeah, on
Yep,
the way
you
back
ran
to the
somebody
rotunda.
over with the horse
It was fine. They
and
ran out.
finally was able to they ran out in front of you. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
then yeah, got
they
back to
got
the
to the
rotunda.
edge of the city and Avor met you there.
Yep, yep.
And as they were riding out of the city with helms of teleportation to a distance that was not affected by the anti-teleportation spell,
Mm.
we ended with Goodwin asking what the guy's name was, and he was like, "Oh, I'm Avor," and
Who
then that was where we left off.
new partner? Who dis? We also did get a little bit of another cutscene after the hostler because the hostler is added to the NPCs and the NPC list, and there was a scene with the hostler involving the thread with the sovereign. So the guard that had arrested the essentially the would be assassin, that
And
guard
killed him. I
and
forgot to
killed him.
mention that.
Yeah,
Killed the
protected the
guy.
sovereign.
Yeah.
So this, I love that guy. So like, I almost after we do this story, I almost want to know that guy's story because that guy is literally like an E3, right? He's not like Secret Service. He's just some dude. He's Will Smith at the beginning of the Men in Black movies, and
Yeah.
he just happened to be in the right place at the right time and got the move off, protected the sovereign. So
He's
that
just
guy
John McClane. It's fine.
yeah, right, exactly. So that guy, the chancellor and the sovereign, the president of the country, and like the highest ranking intellectual, like the president of the country and Neil deGrasse Tyson currently are being protected by like a random NYPD cop.
Yeah,
And
by John
literally,
McClane.
yeah, the three of them I think I don't know if we determined it on screen, but I know that we decided the three of them are going back to the Hierotech because the Chancellor knows that's the most secure place he knows outside of Cyprus. So he's like,
Hmm.
if only the three of us know we're leaving, we should go to this place because no one will think to look for you there. And they also left the city in the opposite direction. So both of our parties, we they didn't split the party, but we have two different parties going in two different directions.
Hmm.
So chaos factor was 6, we said. It might have been.
Also, be proud of me for my fucking ADHD brain that doesn't remember shit. That I remembered like play by play.
Mhm. Which is extra amazing because all of that was randomly determined. The scene with the hostler, the scene with the lockdown, literally the scene with the assassination attempt, that happened when like you said, Goodwin and Avor weren't there for that. That was a cutscene that literally affected everything else. Because
Hmm.
Avor and Goodwin were leaving, and they would have just left if all that other stuff hadn't happened. I think we determined in game the reason that Goodwin was being sent is because the Chancellor there is a notion that are inside people involved in this disappearance, and
Hmm.
the only person that the Chancellor knows he can trust 100% to not be to not be a mole is Goodwin.
His son. That that nobody knows is his son except him and his son.
Well, now everybody knows it's on the internet, and the internet's forever.
Hmm.
All
It was on the
right.
internet last time too, so
It's now on two places on the internet because it's on
I
YouTube.
will say though, we do know that Goodwin's dad is okay. He was healed,
That's right.
even though he was stabbed in the chest. He was healed. Um,
Yeah, by like the
so
court cleric or presumably I would assume that some of the guards actually have uh they're maybe not clerics, but like I imagine that there are some of the guards, them like the actual military guards, are war clerics.
hmm.
Like they're clerics, but also with melee ability.
Hmm.
Because that just makes sense. It makes sense to be able to triage. So yeah, like on the spot, healed him up, got him out of there, and
Yep.
we actually found that out because when we got to the rotunda, Avor had a sending stone, or it basically pulled out his walkie-talkie and was like, why can't we teleport out of here? Oh, because oh, the Chancellor got stabbed, and then looks over at Goodwin, and Goodwin's like, I'm sorry, what? Huh? What?
Yeah, because the guy doesn't know that he's your dad, so he's just like, "Oh, the Chancellor was injured. Oh, okay. Oh, he's
Yeah,
fine. Okay." And Goodwin's over there like,
yeah. Minor panic attack. Oh, he's fine. Okay, minor panic attack slightly avoided. Everything's. But see, that's the thing is, I don't think there's the concern, but Goodwin, he's 15th level, or I think he's 14th level in this, but like he's 14th, 15th level. He's experienced enough that like yes, he has that emotional concern, but he can compartmentalize that. So like when that guy was like, "Oh, the Chancellor got stabbed," there was definitely that dead, and then there was that there's shit going on right now. Like he's fine. That man was fine before I was ever level one. Like everything,
mm-hmm.
and if he's not, he's not. Like, what the fuck am I going to do about it? I'm not a healer. I can't punch him back to life. Can I? Wait, hang on. Can I? Can I try?
"Er?"
Yes. All right. So we didn't even bother checking. We said that what chaos factor was 6. It's at least
Mm-hmm.
6. So do you want to roll the d10 to see if the next scene is altered, interrupted, or occurs as expected?
0? Yes.
0 is a
10.
10. So nope, it happens exactly as expected. Um, and I think we had said what they had to be about 300 feet outside the edge of the
At
city,
least.
outside like 300 feet
Mm-hmm.
past the gate. I feel like to this, uh, given that it's a capital city, it's probably got like it's got like the gate, like the wall where it's got like the portcullis gate, but then any road in also has additional outposts, and so like just getting 300 feet beyond the gate's probably not far enough. You have to go past the gate, past the next checkpoint. Like you have to get a certain distance out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to get through like 2 checkpoints before you can get out of the city.
Yeah, especially in this instance because with a magical lockdown, they know if somebody's trying to flee, if they're daring enough to try to flee, they're going to flee on foot, and so they got to make sure. So they see Avor, they know who
You
Avor
guys
is.
have an official letter.
That's right. We have an official letter. We have literal government helms of teleportation because we picked them up at the rotunda. They just didn't work, so they didn't work from there. So we had to take them out of the city. Like, fine, all right, let's go. It's a shame there's not horse names. There's not a list of horse names in this book.
It's Ein and Dos.
That's, is it Ein and Dos or is it Uno and Ein?
It's Ein and Dos because I rolled a 3.
Or well, here we could roll a d4 twice.
1,
Mm.
4.
So it's Ein, or it's Uno and Quattro.
I like
I'm
Ein
right.
and Dos better.
Ein and Dos. That's fine. That's DOSC. Okay, so we're trucking on past. We're past the second gate because nothing.
I think it's DOS.
It is DOS. Yeah. Um. Yeah, the Spanish version is DOS. But yeah, we passed the outpost because nothing has interrupted or altered our scene, and we get out to the edge of the edge of the magical lockdown. I feel like we could probably feel it. Like, especially 15th level. I've been in enough different magical fields and auras that like I probably could feel that when we were in it. Like, if I had the ability to teleport, I couldn't do it right now. And we pass it.
The
I,
magic is thick.
yeah, I feel like it's the idea of being underwater and you can feel that pressure, and it's just that sort of magical pressure. And as we get out of that bubble, it's like, oh, it's like coming up out of the water. You got to pop your ears. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
So, Avor, you know where we're going. I'll let you lead the way. Technically, I think they only need I think they only technically need one helm of teleportation. It's
Yeah,
probably
they probably only
best.
have one.
Well, let's find out. Do they have two? Uh, you think it's 50-50 that they have two, that they each got one? Because one helm of teleportation has three charges, and one charge can be used to teleport eight people. But depending on the mission, it kind of makes sense to have a second one just as a backup if it's available, because then you have six
Yeah,
charges.
then they probably do have two.
But we can ask. We'll make it 50-50. Do they have do they have two helms of teleportation? 91. Nope, they have one.
Hmm.
So Avor would have it because Avor knows exactly where they're going.
Yep.
All right. Do we have to this is a thing that Goodwin would know, but I like the idea of like someone who's never actually done the teleport spell before being like, okay, do we have to hold hands? Or do we just have to be like near each other? Do we have to like hug?
We have to hug.
The Helm of Teleportation. While wearing this, you can come on. Cast teleport. Yes. The teleport spell is a verbal component. It transports you and up to eight willing creatures of your choice that you can see within range or a single object. Uh, so it is a range of 10 feet. So it is not a touch spell. So Goodwin's like kind of reaching like to touch the horse and touch like Avor's shoulder and is like, Avor, you need to touch the other horse. And Avor's like, you've you've done this before, right? Has Goodwin teleported before?
Is this your first time?
Is it first time, bro? It's extraordinarily unlikely that it would be his first time. Hmm. Um, let's see, we're on Chaos Factor 6. It is unlikely that it's his first. I'd say it's very unlikely, especially at level 14. It is very unlikely that he's never teleported before. So is this his first time? Is this Goodwin's first time
Maybe he's never
teleporting
teleported like this with a helm
with
before.
a helm of teleportation? Yeah. Is this Goodwin's first time using a helm of teleportation? I'm still going to say it's unlikely, which still makes it 50-50. Nope, 71. This is not his first time. So he doesn't do that. Or maybe he does. Just does he do that anyway just to fuck with Avor? That's a 20. He absolutely does do that just to fuck with Avor. And Avor's like, "Is this your first time?" And he's like, "No, no, just messing with you." All right, well, let's let's get this dog and let's. He looks at the two. Let's get this dog and pony show on the road. So now, are we rolling to see if the horses are willing?
Yes.
Are we rolling separately for the horses to see if one might not and one might?
Yes.
What do you think the likelihood is?
50-50.
It's just straight up 50-50. Now, at
Mm-hmm.
at Chaos Factor 6, 50-50 is actually 65%. So 65 or lower, your horse goes. 65 or lower, my horse goes. So uh Goodwin messes with them. Avor's like, "What are you doing? You don't have to do." And Goodwin's like, "I know, it's fine. It's cool. All right, here we go." And the the pressure, it feels like it's going the other direction. It's like when you're going up in an airplane and your ears are pushing the other way. Because if
Mm-hmm.
the magic that prevents you from teleporting feels like pressure pushing in, like going underwater, I feel like the opposite happens when when you're actually teleporting. So as they begin teleporting, does Quattro, does Goodwin's horse, is Goodwin's horse willing? 37. Yes, he is. Yes, that horse is.
43. Yes.
Is Goodwin's horse Male and or male presenting. 17, yes. Goodwin has a male horse. He has a gelding. Is that what they're called?
They're both males.
There we go. Is it a
Gelding is
gelding?
a young one. A stallion would be
Mm.
a full adult that's not fixed.
Is Goodwin's horse a gelding? 74. Nope. Is Goodwin's horse as old as Goodwin? 74. 74 again. So no, but that was two 74s in a row.
That'd be pretty old though for a horse.
It would, because Goodwin's 48. That horse would be like, I don't run. I barely trot. I canter.
I can't. Yeah.
So do you want to roll for where they find themselves? Because I mean, we know where they find, and Avor knows where they're going to find themselves.
Um, I would say that Avor is aiming for. That's a mouthful.
Hmm.
Um, Ashtar, which is the city that the ruins are just outside of. You know, this is a place where like some shit went down. So like theoretically, you don't want to like transport yourself right into the heart of it in case bad shit's there, right?
Yeah.
So
So,
probably just outside the city limits of Ashtar.
mhm,
The ruins are on a mountain, so it's
mhm.
probably like an hour by horseback.
So here's the question then. Does he have something? And as somebody who teleports somewhat regularly, he knows that if you have an object from the place you're trying to go, like if when you mechanically, when you cast a teleport spell, if you have an object from the place you're trying to go, you land on target. You don't have to roll for it. If you're very, very familiar with it, but you don't have a physical object, you do have to roll for it. There's a chance you could miss. So presumably he would have an object from the city of Ashtar.
He probably has a rock.
Just and that works. Yeah. Does do you want to roll for that, or do you think he does? I feel like he almost certainly does.
No, he does not have a rock. Hold on.
No, does he have an
Oh,
object?
he has an artifact. He has an artifact.
Okay, yeah,
I was
from
right.
Ashtar. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Noise. All right, fine. So, well, do you consider this a different scene now? We had a little teeny tiny. This was the end of that was the end of the last scene.
I do consider this to be a new scene.
Yeah. So technically, we weren't rolling for a new scene at the beginning. We were just closing out the finale of the last scene.
Correct.
So, uh, would you just say the chaos factor is the same then? Since given the scenario,
Hi, buddy. There's a wild Tannis in the chat. I've been booped.
it's a multi
I'll
boop.
boop you back.
That's a 20. That's a 2,000 mile boop.
Uh-huh.
Um. Okay.
um,
So
but yes,
okay.
this would be the beginning of a new scene.
Okay. So then the chaos factor is the same because it would not have changed because that was still the end of the last scene. So I can't see who said that. If you'd like to roll a d10, and we'll see. So they're arriving. The expectation for the next scene is they're going to arrive in Asher in Ashtar in a location they Avor is familiar with, and how far did you say it was? A day's ride from the town?
Probably about an hour,
Hours,
like
right?
because they
Okay,
have to go up a mountain, like a mountain road, a little ways.
okay. So that is
So
the expectation. So
probably
they're
this guy was probably getting supplies.
mm,
He probably was on a run for one of the archaeologists who were like, I need a thing. I need a very specific thing. Go to town. And he's like,
he
okay.
needed they
And so
needed
since he didn't
booze.
have a horse, it would have taken him a lot longer.
Mm, they needed booze. It was just booze. Um,
Probably.
so If you'd like to roll the d10 and find out if our scene is interrupted, altered, or unfolds as expected.
6.
And the chaos factor is 6. So I think it's. Now I have to double check. I think it's rolling it. Is it it or lower? See, I've used this system enough, I should remember this stuff. Testing the expected scene. Where are you? Random event. Choosing the event. Those are meaning tables. Testing the expected scene. D10 and compare. Roll over the chaos factor expected scene. Roll within the chaos factor. So that means chaos factor or lower. So a 6 is an interrupt scene.
Okay.
I'm gonna triple check it in the one other place that I know it is. Testing the expected scene is page 67. You know me, I like a random scene. That's why I like to overroll. And
No.
I just discussed so the most recent episode of Table for One. Holy shit! The most recent episode of Me, Myself, and Die that I listened to. Uh, Trevor was talking about like rolling a bunch, like asking a bunch of questions to sort of narrow down the details of a scene, and mentioned that he likes to roll because there's more chance for random events. And I was like, yes, that's yes. Testing the expected scene. Before we dive into the new scene, we roll a d10 and compare it to the current CF value. If you roll above the CF, then the expected scene starts exactly how you thought it would. If you roll equal to or less than, yes. So an even is an interrupt scene. So you can roll the D100 once, and this will tell us the focus of this random event that is going to interrupt our scene.
3.
3 on the D100.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. That's a remote event, which I already have a sense of what we're going to find out. So go ahead and
Mm-hmm.
roll the D100 twice. This is for the actions of this scene.
42
Hmm.
and 50.
Expose investment. So
Ooh.
my immediate assumption was that this is kicking us back over to the sovereign, the chancellor, and the guard because it's remote to our characters who are in Ashtar. Expose investment, though. Does
I
this?
think I know what it is.
All right, go ahead.
Uh, the assassin who
Mm-hmm.
was killed was his grandmama
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is the one who may or may not have hired the people who kidnapped the archaeologists.
This is the Babeg. The Babeg. The
Uh
BBEG.
huh.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
So is the exposure of the investment, is it or essentially is this scene happening with her and mm,
Maybe it's something that was on him, because theoretically they would have
mm,
looked through his pockets and
mhm.
seen stuff.
Well, he
Maybe
was
there
an
is a
Arak.
letter or something
Mhm.
that
He
ties him.
he was an Aarakocra, right? Or well, I mean, he presumably still is an Aarakocra, even though he's a dead Aarakocra. Um,
Yes.
and the Babeg is also an Aarakocra, correct? I think you had rolled for that. Um, so then, well, then I guess the question is, exposed investment. Is this scene? Does this scene involve the dead? Um, we kept calling him the gambler. He's listed as the gambler in the NPCs. Does this scene involve the the dead gambler and exposing the connection between the gambler and the babeg? That's a two. So it absolutely
Yikes.
is. So this is occurring then presumably inside. I keep calling it Sovereign City. Um, Zypros. Is this happening in Zypros, like in the castle in Zypros? 23. So it is. Um, then I guess right. That's just the more or less Secret Service, the investigative. It's the Capitol Police. Is that the police department or the police unit in Washington D.C.? This
Yeah.
is the that version. It's the sovereign investigators. Um,
The Royal Guard.
yeah, I mean, the Secret Service
Royal
isn't the
Family.
worst. Yeah, isn't the worst description. So they've taken that body, they've sequestered it because they're going to do the magical versions of CSI stuff, and
Hmm.
as they're doing that, probably doing some identify on various, the dagger. It
Maybe
is it the
they
dagger?
find.
Was it a dagger that the assassin had tried to use?
No. No. I know it is.
Mm-hmm.
They find a map. They find a map that has
Marked.
areas circled on it.
Mm-hmm.
And they realize that these are the sites that have either been looted
Mm-hmm.
and also the 5 sites that have yet to be
Hit.
checked out by archaeologists.
Mm.
And one
Now,
of them, the
mhm,
and the one that was just, so all the ones that have been looted have an
mhm,
X through them. Like they're circled, but then they have an X through them.
mhm,
The one that they just found these people kidnapped from, that no one else should know that
mhm.
anything's happened, is circled with an X through it.
Now, you said there's several on the map that are circled but not X'd yet, right? So
Yep.
this
Because there were
implies
5 sites left.
mhm,
Pretty much the idea was that the previous sites, there were things about the sites that they discovered a pattern. That, like, if a site has these, like, 5 things in a
mhm,
site, every time we have found a Menno stone or whatever it is. And
mhm,
so they've been able to judge by just doing basic, like, reconnaissance of other sites that are
mhm,
similar. They've been able to find 5 potential sites that could potentially have everything that the other ones
mhm.
did, that would then have these things. Like, so they have 5 sites
Gotcha.
they need to check out, and they were
Mhm,
going through this list pretty much like this was the next site that they were doing, and then they were going to go to, you know, the
mhm.
next one, and so on and
So,
so forth, and bring
mhm,
back what they found. And so someone on the inside knows about this, knows where they are, knows where they're going to be, and
mhm,
he had this map, and that
mhm,
site is crossed off, and no one would have known that anything bad had happened there,
mhm.
or that even an archaeological team would necessarily be there right now.
Yes. So then the question is, um, are there sites that the Hierotech has identified that are not listed on the map yet? You can roll for that if you want, or you can decide it if you want.
No, that was a 77.
Okay. So there are not any sites listed on because my thinking was that if there were sites that the Hierotech had identified that were not yet listed on the map, it would it would have potentially given them a clue as to who on the inside was leaking information because it would be a question of who has the information. At the moment, any site that has been identified is listed on this map. To be fair, it could also be that because this map isn't immediately up to date. So this map was made at some point in the past and would only have the information available at that point in the past. Um,
But
so
he
this
heard
is
from somebody within, because
mm,
this, it probably took this messenger a
mm,
day to get back, because he
mm,
probably went back to the city and
Mm-hmm.
got teleported out of there and
Mm-hmm.
back to the to his headquarters, and was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Shit went down. I need
Yeah.
I need I
Get
need
me a
help.
get me a guy. Get smart.
Get me a guy."
Um, at that. So this is the first
So at some
indication.
point in the last 3 days, sorry.
Yeah. No, no, you're good. Yeah, this is the first indication that the Sovereign's team has that the assassin is connected in any way to, well,
Mm-hmm.
the person that Goodwin was investigating, who turned out to be an attempted assassin, is also in some way connected to the thing that Goodwin has been sent on, even if he's not like directly. He has information that's connected to the people involved. But this is their first indication of that. Prior to that, these were two
Mm-hmm.
separate things to them.
Mm-hmm.
So do they? So I mean, this is very likely that they inform the chancellor and the sovereign, probably just using sending. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say that's
It wouldn't be sending. I know what it is.
mm,
It's the that magical paper that you can write back and forth on.
oh the stuff. Yeah, 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 the scroll of telescription or something like that.
I
It
think so,
was
yeah.
it
The
was the
one
one that
the sovereign would have something like that. That would be
yeah, it was the one that a certain unnameable dragonborn sorcerer used in the first season of Critical Role. Um,
yep.
okay,
So I'm sure the chancellor
so here's
and the sovereign have
well,
one.
yes. Um, I like the idea that it's effectively like I like the idea of using a version of psychic paper from Doctor Who. It's the same premise, but basically it's the idea that like you have a notebook and you flip to like each page is coded to another person's book. So if I had a book, I could have a page that's coded to Nimue, a page that's coded to Megwins, a page that's coded to Tanis. And if I need to get a message
Mm-hmm.
to Tanis, I flip to Tanis's page and I write in it. And then his book like warms up or buzzes. And so he pulls his book out and he sort of flips through to find the page that's essentially got writing on it. And he goes, "Oh, this is coming from Cap." And it's effectively a cell phone. It crosses up the idea of telescription. But then, like, after I finish writing on it, like it's got a code word where I know you've read it. The little red thing pops. It says unread until you read it, and then it says read, and then I can like double tap the page and it clears it. Or although I like the idea that you close the book and shake it like an etch a sketch. You shake the
That's
book,
funny.
the words, and at the other end, if you're actually watching it when it happens, the words basically look as if they were written in chalk in dust, and the dust sort of flies off the page.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I just got a warm, buzzy feeling. Cat must be thinking of me, of Mister Me. I am thinking of Mister You. Um. But yeah. So it's the book of telescription. It's the book of sketch. It's like an etch a sketch, but it's a book of sketch. Um, I'm gonna say it's nearly certain that they inform. Well, it's a difference of 5% whether it's nearly certain or certain. Uh,
They do inform. They absolutely would inform.
well, they would.
I'd say they'd probably inform the chancellor first.
Mhm. So at Chaos Factor 6, I'm gonna say because at 95% you'd have to roll on that one essentially. I'm gonna say it's certain because there's always the possibility that there is another inside person. Um, So we're going to say it's certain, which is a 95% chance, which means technically I have to roll a nat 1 on the percentile for this person to be revealed as an insider. But does the Royal Investigation Team inform the Chancellor slash Sovereign? 28. So yes, they do. Okay. So they inform and probably yes, you're right. They inform the Chancellor first because the Chancellor's the one. Um, Technically speaking, even though it was an assassination attempt, the Chancellor's the one with the more pressing matter because the attempt has been prevented. So that
Well, I
matter
figured
is. Mhm.
the chancellor would be informed so that then it would be up to him whether or not he filled in the
Mm,
sovereign at this time. Kind of a need
yeah,
to know basis thing.
right. And because this information doesn't, like I said, it's more pressing for him to have this information than for her because it's not strictly part of the assassination investigation as much as it is like essentially he has priority of the information. So yes, they do inform him.
Can we
No,
take a quick break?
possibly. I mean, I have to go to the "We'll be right back" screen. Be right back.
Yes.
Should I leave the audio up while we go? Okay. All right. Well, uh, it's it's been 58 minutes. We'll be back. What do you say? 5 minutes? 10 minutes?
Yeah, like 5 minutes is fine.
All right. Well, we will be back in 5 minutes. See you soon. Okay. Now I'm going to turn off the audio. Click, click. Okay. Now the audio is off, so they cannot hear us anymore. I mean, I can come back early and just sit here and stare at the screen. So then she goes, "It's not going to fit. I don't care how much you push it in." And I'm like, "All right. I mean, if you say so." But anyway, so you're back. All right. You ready to go back? Okay, here we go. And
You're such a dork.
you're not wrong.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Anyway.
so because the part of the idea of a remote scene is that the main characters are supposed to be able to find this out in some way. And we know that Avor has the sending stone, the walkie-talkie stone. So even if he doesn't have a book a sketch, the
Theoretically,
information. Mhm,
Goodwin would have one.
probably, yeah, yeah. So one or the other, or probably both. I love the idea they both get the message at roughly the same time through their different. Yeah, through their different. They both get the notification bell at the same time. Um, about like, hey, we found this thing on this guy that you were following that we didn't know that this guy had that. You just happened to be following somebody who had it. And they're like, oh, this is the plot thickens. Avor's like, so you were following that guy for other reasons? Yeah. I was essentially I was hired by the Sovereign City D&D equivalent of the IRS. We were on an audit trail and I had no idea what he was up to. I didn't even know the guy's name. He would have known his name, undoubtedly. Did Goodwin know that guy's name? 82, he didn't know that guy's name.
Aaron Kokra.
And yes. Aaron or Aaron was the gambler. I think we determined the gambler was a gambling man, right? The Aarakocra was male, right? Was the Aarakocra male?
Gambler's
Uh,
name was Kenny.
23, so the gambler was male. So it was Aaron Kokra?
That's what I said. Or it could be Kenny.
Could be.
Kenny Rogers.
Kenny Rogers. Could have been Jack Daw. Anyway, so yes, our characters as they arrive in Ashtar and are kind of getting themselves situated. Let's find out Goodwin's Constitution score. Making a con save. 18 on the die. Goodwin is perfectly fine. That whole joke about never having teleported before was very clearly not the case.
Question is, what's the horse's constitution?
I'm actually going to pull up a. Are they now? Well, I'll ask about this. Okay.
They're retired war horses.
I was just going to ask: are they war horses? Are these, at the very least, is Goodwin's horse a retired or former or current war horse? 12, absolutely. And honestly, that makes sense too because they got these from the sovereign the castle's livery, so it makes sense that these are war horses. Um,
These
so
horses are like, I've fucking teleported before.
I was gonna say yeah. So let's see. Constitution save is a +1. Mine rolled a 15. Quattro rolled a 15. Uh oh.
Mine rolled a 6.
Yours was the
Final
gelding.
die.
Yours was the gelding.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know. Did we determine that if Avor has speak with animals? Because the one Avor's horse Bokes And Goodwin's horse is like, first time? It's fine. Oh, yep. I don't remember eating that this morning, but you know what? We're gonna roll with it. All right, let's go. Let's get out of here. Are they gonna was the expected scene that they're just going to they've landed, they're gonna situate themselves, or are they gonna supply up, or are they good to go? They're just gonna go back up.
Oh, I'd imagine they'd probably be good to go.
Okay. Yeah.
I think they
So
said that they had supplies ready.
okay. In the city, or they had them with them?
Like when he was summoned to the
Mm,
sovereign, his dad knew he was gonna take the things, so they had already
mm.
prepared.
That's
Um,
right. Yes, yes. Before they even left the castle, they went and like got outfitted. That's right. Um, so yeah, they're good to
they had
go.
full bags and everything, like
Yep,
ready for them to go.
they're good to go. They're heading up the mountain road, heading up into the hills to the archaeological dig site. Does anything happen along the road? The expected scene is just them traveling there or getting there. Because if they're traveling up a mountain now, which is not like, they're not going up Everest, but like if horses can go up it, it's not that bad.
Um, it is a road.
Mm,
There's a road, like an actual like cobbled road on the
mm,
side of this mountain that goes up to these ruins because these ruins they were the original city
mm,
before the city got too big.
mm,
They moved to lower land, and the
mm.
ruins were left up there.
So this is the old town. This is when you go into a town that's been around for a long time. You can find the place that was like. This is when you go into Philadelphia and you go into like Rittenhouse Square and you go into the brownstone areas. And you're like, oh yeah, this was the shit that's been here the longest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we're heading on up the mountain. Do we have a significant encounter? Is this, you want to go 50-50 on this, or you want to go lower?
I think 50-50.
50-50. And this will be actual 50-50, not 65%. So 50-50, yes or no. Do we have a significantly relevant encounter on the road up to the ruins? 59, we don't. Unless you want to roll
Write that
for,
down.
what's that? The road to the ruins?
Road up to the ruins.
Road up to the ruins.
It's the name of this episode, or possibly.
Correct. A bomb. All right. So we don't.
What am I rolling?
We trek. Well, I rolled a 59 to see if we did, unless you wanted to roll.
Mm, okay, I rolled a 66. I was seeing if there was somebody waiting for them in the ruins.
Hmm. Well, we did not change the chaos factor. So do you want to treat a 66 as a random event?
Sure.
Because, again, a random event
I also
doesn't.
realized I had the name of the city wrong.
It was it Ashtar? Or was it something else?
Yes, but I had the name of the city wrong for here,
For where?
for where the team was kidnapped.
Oh, the old city.
Was not in Ashtar.
Old Ashtar.
Mhm.
Since you rolled the 66, do you want to roll the random event? And we can keep it super simple. Like I have that I know I as a writer have that tendency to be like, this must be an earth shattering. It doesn't. It doesn't. It can literally just
93.
be 93 is current context. So that makes perfect sense. Uh Go
Roll two
ahead,
more times.
roll twice more, and this is the actions.
88
Hmm.
and 65.
Support outside. So this is because they're going up a mountain road. and they probably are hitting those portions of the road where it's the edge of a cliff and it's not a terribly wide road. And it's just that scene from the Lord of the Rings where they're like trying to go over the mountain, so they're like, and it's just supporting outside. We're just being a little careful, trying to come up this road.
I dig it.
Yeah, it's probably one of those throwaway scenes that every movie has to have to introduce some tension in the climb, where it's like, oh, they slipped. Oh, they slipped. They're not going to fall. This is literally the least dramatic moment in this movie. No one's going to fall off a mountain on the way to the big thing. Although
Right.
that would actually be hilarious if the setup was you're going to do this massive big thing, but you actually accidentally slip off the mountain and die, and that's the end of the story. You never get to the big thing.
I mean, spoilers, but that's just the beginning of the Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
It's been out long enough.
it's true. It's true. So yeah, we have some slippage, we have some
Uh,
almost fallage, and we have some support on the outside.
they are in Penka, Penka.
Okay. I was like panko,
Anyways,
like the breadcrumbs.
Panko. Yep, they're
Panko,
they're slipping on breadcrumbs.
correct.
Um, Penka. Yeah, I forgot that I had mixed up my names.
Mm, that's
Ashtar,
okay. So
Mira. That's where
Ashton,
you were going. That's where
huh?
you're gonna take Morgan's character. Is Ashtar.
Still about the spoilers. That's not even fair because that's like that's a super spoiler. That's an episode that the people might not get to see. There's a good probability they will though.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah. So we're
But that is
trucking.
not a secret. Like literally, like there's
Mm,
teams of people being sent out to 5 different places. That's the place you guys are being sent.
yeah, panko, the breadcrumbs. No, Ashtar.
Mhm.
Um, okay. So we have a little environmental treachery on the way up. Um, so is this
Um,
essentially is this a cavern? Is it like we get to a portion where like I assume we're going up not a super narrow because if horses can go up and it's a road too. You said it's cobbled. It's
a
not
cart
like
a cart could get up it.
yeah. So this is probably not even necessarily like that treacherous so much as it's like there was rain one day and we're on a cobbled road on a mountainside and so it's slick. And so there's a little like there's not you're gonna fall off the mountain slippage. There's just some general travel.
So what is 000
I
again?
read it as 10.
Okay.
Everybody else, the book says to read it as 100. As long as you read it consistently, it doesn't matter. It's
And I
however
can't
you
remember
want to.
which one you did because I just rolled 000.
Yeah, I read that as a 10.
So the thing that
So,
happens while you're going up there, there's a steep cliff area.
mm,
The road's still wide, but there's a steep cliff area. It has like almost like a cliff overhang,
mm,
and you are perceptive enough
mm,
that you hear something on the rocks above you,
mm.
and you're able to react just in time as some kind of big cat attempts to jump onto you and your horse, and you being dexterous and strong are able to take the momentum of it jumping and yeet it off the side
No,
of the cliff.
I want to cast ps, ps, ps on it. I want to wrestle it. I want to hug it. I want to pet it, scratch
Uh-huh.
behind the ears.
No.
I want to domesticate it. Yeah, I
Not
will have a
happening. Not gonna let you. You cannot have a big cat. You're already level 15. I'm not giving this to you.
by the end of this campaign, I will have a horse. I will have a big cat. I will have a dragon. I will have. I am playing Ash Ketchum in a D&D universe. I will catch them all. Um, no, but when you said that, I love the idea that at some point they're going up this mountain road, and there's an area where there is that sort of cliff overhang, but it's a waterfall, and so they actually go behind a waterfall, and that might actually be the area where there is some just general, you know, slippage area because there's water just naturally there all the time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
But I just love the visual of them being like really high up on this mountain and behind a waterfall and seeing like the whole spread of the forest out below them and then going in this essentially half tunnel where one side is just a wall of water and then coming up and around.
A
Um,
glacier, got it.
well, so now here's the question though. Is that the entrance to this? Did we just, is it a cavern? Is that a thing you had already decided, or do we not necessarily know the nature of this site?
It is structures outside
Hmm.
that lead into the mountain.
Okay, so this is like essentially it's like the gateway to the mines of Moria. It's a thing that is external, but it leads into something else.
Kind of. Think of like um think of like the Pueblo Indians
Okay.
and the cliffside huts,
Hmm.
but then there's a larger area where the mountain flattens out a little bit, where there's a larger building that
Hmm.
either the entrance is in that building or next to it.
Okay. So at some point we're coming up a road to a flat basin-ish type area on the like we're not going into a cavern, into a cave under into the mountain. We're coming up onto an area that is out open
That
air.
has ruins, and that's one of the
Hmm.
things that they have figured out is
Hmm.
that these sites are all found on mountains of a certain size
Hmm.
and have some kind of ruined settlement
Hmm.
outside of a main entrance to some form of long tunnel
Hmm. Hmm.
that
Why
may or
would
may
that?
not have been a mine at some point.
Hmm. Why would that possibly be? Anyway, so we are
That leads
getting
into the heart of the mountain.
the heart of the mountain, eh?
That could be the name for Morgan's episode.
I was gonna say because we're not going into the mountain. We're going to the. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, we never said this was a PG rated stream. We're not going to the cervix of the mountain. We're going to the labia of the mountain.
Jesus Christ, Anthony.
You signed on for this. You
Whatever
invited me
you
to this.
say, question mark?
Neither of those is an option for the title. Anyway, um, so we get to the ruins. So is this a single structure, like the ruins of a single structure? Did the mountain consent?
No, it's ruins of like a small settlement.
Gotcha. That is a good
Think of like
question. Did the mountain consent?
think
Both
of
of
like
the
a
horses
trading
consented.
post.
Okay. Does the mountain consent? 50-50. 44, the mountain consents, and we get a random event. So, what's the nature of this random event for the mountain's consent? Oh, that's
You're such a
cocked.
turd.
Weirdly. Teeny ass.
You are cocked.
I am. 14. I'm actually rolling a random event for this. 14 is new NPC.
Hmm.
So, um, all right. Do you want to roll any of the information for this? Because we can roll on characters. The five main tables are two tables for actions, two tables for descriptors, a table for locations, a table for characters, a table for objects. Um, roll 2d100, and this is for the character.
Okay, 1 second.
Okay.
Trying to mix up a bowl of things right now.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay.
34,
Okay.
19.
This interesting. Feminine and creepy. 34 was
Is it a
feminine
hag?
and 19 is creepy. Well, so there's a question. Is it even a humanoid? Is she well, is are they, because feminine doesn't mean woman. Um,
Hmm.
are they humanoid? Is this a humanoid uh creature? 50-50. 52. This is not a humanoid creature. So this is a feminine. So there is a creature table. Let's see. Creature descriptions, character
Is it a
appearance.
fae?
Well, so let's go with creature because I think this will let us know. Creature descriptors. Okay, so roll twice. Roll 2d100 for creature description.
65
Okay.
and
Mhm.
6.
Uh, plant, animal. So 65 is plant, and my brain immediately went to a dryad or like a tree. Well, we've seen the picture of sexy trees. But like it went to like treant possibly. 6 is
Mhm.
animal. So is this like a hybrid plant animal? Is this a hybrid plant animal? Woo! I dropped a die.
Hmm.
Is this a hybrid plant animal? Uh, 22. Then I rolled a 19 for that. Um, 68
Is it a chimera of some kind?
and 50. Odd and hurt. Okay, interesting. Okay, that actually makes sense. Okay, I think I know what's
Hmm.
going. I think I kind of know what's going on, but let me see if there's unless you've got an idea, go for it. I think we're on the same wavelength though.
It's a chimera of some kind.
Um,
Like,
I was gonna say, so like
or-
like I'm thinking something druidic because like a druid is a humanoid with a connection
druid.
to plants.
It is. Okay. It is a stag.
Hmm.
Or not a. Yeah. I was like, is a stag? Stag is a type of creature. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's a female stag
Hmm.
that has a. What are they called? Cordyceps um, type infection. So there are certain types of
So
cordyceps
plant
fungus
growth.
that
Hmm.
can take over the mind of a creature.
Hmm.
So like ants and other.
What just happened? Well, that's no good. If anybody can hear me out there, I just lost Discord. I'm going to keep talking while this is going on. I'm going to pull Discord back up. Discord literally just dropped out on me for no good yep. Dropped out on me for no good reason. You still there?
I am here.
There we go. Okay, pulling mine up. Okay, they can hear me. I don't know if they can hear you. I'm going to, yes, yes. Yeah, I literally Discord just dropped. Oh, you're back.
There we go. Weird.
I'm back. There we
Hmm.
go. Look at that. Technical difficulties. And yet, here we are. So,
So I was
cordyceps
saying
infection.
that
Hmm.
there are types of fungus and things that can take over the minds of animals.
Hmm.
So maybe this was a female stag that ate something like a part
Mm.
of you know a mushroom or something like that
Hmm.
that the fungus has taken over its mind. And so it
Um,
has like these fungal things that are like growing up out of its head.
like
So it's creepy.
up its antlers and yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Like literally has vine and 50 is hurt. So it being a creature, and it makes sense too because this would be given that there are
It's a caribou.
artifacts, caribou, given that there are
Mhm.
artifacts and energies of like very high, volatile, potent, arcane frequencies at this site. We know the nature of sort of the elements here. It makes sense. A mushroom growing from like a vein of energy at this site is going to have like really, really powerful effects. So if some stag came along here uh, and partook,
Some little mountain caribou was just munching along and ate a mushroom with a bunch of grass, and the
mm,
mushroom has taken over its mind.
poor little bugger. Let's see here. What? I think
And it is aggressive.
I
Because
lost
I rolled a
Goodwin's.
37.
Ah, well, so here's the question. Does Avor have any sort of healing magic?
I don't know because I don't think we made Avor a character sheet, so
That's true. I'm gonna
he's
pull.
just a messenger.
Is he? Is
Yeah.
Avor just a messenger? 80. That's a no. Does Avor have so
He's
I
just a messenger.
well, not according to
You're right.
not according to the dice.
He's just a messenger.
Right, yeah. Like
Yes, I have this in my eye.
Goodwin's just a teacher. Uh
Uh-huh.
sort of like Henry Jones Jr. is just a professor. Anyway, um
Who's
rem-
Henry?
the dog was named Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Um, remember I had rolled for Tony one time if he had any healing magic, and I rolled a yes. What I realized after the fact was he doesn't have healing magic. He had a healing potion on him because a healing potion is healing magic. So the question then for Avor is, does he have any sort of healingness whatsoever? Do you want to roll for that since he's your character?
Sure. Nope.
No.
Nope.
Uh, Goodwin's a fucking fighter barbarian. Spells. He
Well,
has
good, because this thing is aggressive.
he has one spell. It is find familiar. Uh, well, so Goodwin, the first thing he's gonna do is he's going to attempt the Chris Pratt in the Raptor cage moment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to do that as an animal handling check, or we could completely lean into the mythic thing and just do everything as percentile rolls. Does it work or does it not work? I would say in this case, it's very unlikely it would work.
I'd say let's use your animal handling.
Okay. That's a plus one.
Good luck.
So that's a 15. So the question is, well, and I was going to say, the question is, what's the DC? Is 15 good?
The DC was 16.
I'm going to ask the dice that, and just because I love when they confirm it. Is the DC 15 or lower? This said 28. This said the DC was 50. No. So, doesn't work. Okay. So then the question is that's twice I've dropped my die.
Put it on the counter. Ding.
Um, then I guess the question is it going to attack? Because effectively, if we had done initiative, Goodwin is using his action to try animal handling to try to like calm it down.
It is at the it's at the campsite.
Hmm.
Uh outside. And it is
Ooh,
kind of like scraping its feet on the ground and trying to be like pretty much say, "Hey, I'm big and I'm gonna
mm.
fuck you up if you come any closer."
Um, is it nomming on one of the guards' bodies?
Yes. Oh, it's a 16.
Ooh,
So it's
Not a
this
whole.
big caribou with gray fur and antlers that have these mushroom things growing up out of it, and blood just dripping, like congealed blood dripping from its face.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Well, let's see. Oh, okay. I'm gonna pull. I, I'm gonna pull like a CR3 beast. You want to go four on it? Five.
I mean, you could pull up an elk stat block.
I was gonna say, to be completely fair, like Goodwin is a level 15 character. If this is like an elephant, is a CR4. Uh, what is an elk? Let's see here. Reset all filters. And we'll take the elk and we'll double it. We'll just give oh, giant elk. Here we go. There we go. Okay. Giant elk has 42 hit points. Uh, you know what? I'd say let's give it the max hit points because it's got a range of 5d12 plus 10, which means it could have up to 70 hit points, right? Yeah. Let's give it 70 hit points. You want to give it 70 hit points?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Goodwin totally does the like he's trying to do the Chris Pratt like hey, hey. What languages does he have?
He's
Uh
trying to do the Chris Pratt thing, and he sees that there's like some red on the fucking caribou's mouth. And as he
mhm,
does it, the caribou just like calls out to him, like like an elk calls, kind of thing, and
yeah.
just like blood and stuff, just like stringy in its mouth, just comes out. Like, yeah,
Yeah. So they understand common, elvish, and sylvan, but can't speak them. Giant elks do. So, so Goodwin, in the most sincere, deadpan, not making a joke about it way. This is a Cap joke, not a Goodwin joke. Goodwin absolutely, while he's doing the Chris Pratt thing, is like, do you speak common? Do you speak it? Do you understand it? And this thing, even though it understands it, it can't speak it, and its brain is essentially infected with like vines. Like it wouldn't be able to like respond in a sensible way anyway. So, as the DM, you get to decide at this point what it does. But like Goodwin would say to Avor, be like, "Do you have anything that we can?" Because I do have one thing, but it's very permanent and it's not to his benefit, her benefit. It's not to her benefit.
okay.
I actually what I do um before he asks that, I think Goodwin would turn to Avor and be like, "Is this one of yours?" Because he knows druids can wild shape, and he'd be like, "Is this a
As he
friendly?
turns,
Is this a
this caribou,
is this a
which
friendly?"
I don't know if caribou can actually do this. I don't know if their bodies can do this in real life.
Okay,
But it's D&D, so fuck it. This caribou is going to rear up on its hind legs like a horse
amazing. Mm-hmm.
and try to like it's gonna rear up and then try to like come down and like fucking smack you.
So the giant elk has a ram attack, which is a melee attack. So yeah, this thing goes up and like comes down to try to
And then it
stomp.
comes back. It does that like mountain goat type thing where it like rears up and then head first comes back down.
Yeah. Yep. So go ahead and roll your attack. It's a +6. Let's see what Goodwin's
11.
11 won't hit. Uh I think I'm actually gonna deactivate his conspirators coat for this one because I don't think he has it on this one. This was like a little bit of a rush job.
I mean, if you want to just deactivate that, You may or may not find it later.
Oh, the conspirators code. So he's not going to have that at the beginning.
No.
Beautiful. So an 11 still will not hit, but it won't hit by less.
Okay.
Uh,
Does it just have one attack?
I want it to have more. It says the actions. It only has the one.
It's gonna have two.
Boom. There you go. It's going to take one swipe and then go back the other direction with both horns.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit. So that is 2d6 plus 4 bludgeoning plus 2d4 radiant.
Radiant.
Giant elk is a huge celestial. And it makes sense given what's going on with this animal and the energy of like the mushroom that it would have eaten to do this. It makes sense. There's some funkery going on. I mean, it doesn't have to be radiant if you don't want. You can just make it 2d6 plus. You can make it 3d6 plus
Take
4 bludgeoning.
out the radiant.
Do you want to change the radiant to like slashing or just take it out completely?
Take it out.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna lie and tell you
Actually,
it's
no.
it's
No, no, no. No, no. I take that back. I take that back. Uh,
I mean
poison damage.
what okay, yeah, so that makes us with because essentially the 2d6 plus 4 is the horns, the 2d4 is the plant growth.
Yep, so it's
So
poison
it's
damage.
spores. Yep. Okay. So you got 2d6 plus 2d4 plus 4.
2d6 plus 2d4.
Now, did it move 20 feet? Like, did it charge 20 feet and then attack, or was it within 10? Okay.
Well, I mean, it depends on how close you got to it.
Uh, did did Goodwin get closer than 20 feet, like say 15 feet? 99, he absolutely did not. So it
So
charged
then, yes,
20
it
feet,
reared up, and then when it came back down, it like ran at
charged.
him.
Yep, yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah. So it's two.
So
Mhm,
2d6
mhm.
is 7,
7 plus 4 is 11
and then 3
for bludgeoning.
points.
What's that?
Is it 3 points of. Is the d4 the poison?
Yes, but it's 2d4.
Yep, so it was 3.
So, okay, so 3 poison. And because it moved 20 feet, the target takes an extra 2d4 bludgeoning and has the prone condition. I don't even get a strength save. It's just an extra 2d4 bludgeoning. And
5.
I'm 5. 5 bludgeoning. And
And you are knocked fucking backwards.
I am very. Am I knocked into Avor? 27. Yep, I fully get knocked into Avor. And is Avor prone? Go
Hold
ahead.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Avor doesn't have a stat block. Avor gonna die.
Okay, good. I was like, was Avor on the horse when this happened? No, he wasn't.
Yeah. We saw that. Like, yeah, we probably got there, and this thing wasn't quiet. I mean, it was, it's hurt, so it's not actually at full hit points because it's hurt. Um,
Though
so
would the mushroom be considered it being hurt?
yes,
Because it's infected.
right, yeah, its mind is hurt. It is psychically hurt. Um, So, but yeah, this thing wasn't being quiet. So as we were coming around to the bit, we were like, "There's something there," and Avor's like, "That's not well, that's not." So we like tied the
It
horses
wasn't
back.
before.
Yeah, that wasn't there before, and it's like, well, you didn't put up any wards. Like, there's fucking dead bodies here. Like, did you think they were just gonna lay there?
I'm just a messenger.
Uh-huh. Yeah, my die said otherwise, but that's fine. It's fine. Everything will be fine.
What
Anyway.
die?
Oh, well, he died and he died and he died. Anyway, I'm going to pull a stat block Just what do you want to put Avor at? Like in terms of hit points, like fucking Goodwin has like 170. Well, he used to have 172 hit points.
Um, 1 second.
We're gonna go humanoid
Hold on.
and
I'll tell you
okay.
in just a second.
All right, sounds good.
90.
He has 90 hit points. Okay, so average hit point range. We're gonna go 85 to 95 and see what comes up in humanoids. Amble, Astral Elf Honor Guard, Diviner Wizard, Furbolg Wanderer. Do we know what he is?
Uh-uh.
The Orc War Chief has 93 hit points. Madam Eva, that's funny. Gift Shock Trooper, Dragonborn of Bahamut. Did we say this? So we don't know at all what this person was, right?
Don't think so.
I mean, there's the ambitious assassin, which is essentially like a really it's a cool rogue. Um, but there's
Oh yeah,
also like
do that.
well, there's that, or there's the Astral Elf Honor Guard. So essentially, it's a soldier. What kind of weapon do you want him to have? So the ambitious assassin has a poison blade. The Astral Elf has a long sword and a radiant ray, so they can do essentially a radiant version of an Eldritch Blast.
Okay, do the astral then.
Astral Guard. Okay. So I'll send you that stat block. This is why I love the Mythic system because it's like it's so fucking quick and dirty. You're like, there we go. Okay.
Quick and dirty. That's my stripper name.
There you go. Mine is lukewarm. Anyway, anyway,
The Adventures of Lukewarm and Quick and Dirty.
and quick and dirty. Correct. You are not incorrect. Did that come up for you?
Nope.
Excellent.
The $100 price tag did.
Unacceptable. Sorry, D&D
On
Beyond.
sale, it's $100.
Nope. Sorry, D&D Beyond.
Not on sale, it is
Free because I have it.
120. Why?
Because capitalism. Because we all know capitalism is the BBEG. If capitalism is the babeg. All right. So I assume then we're rolling for initiative.
Uh, you would assume correctly.
All right.
Okay.
Ooh, he's got good initiative. And okay. So I got a 21.
What does initiative come off of again?
Dex. Um,
So I have a 19.
uh, nice. All right. All right. So I got a 21, you get a 19, and you want to roll for the elk?
Sure. 13 plus whatever it's.
So +4 for Dex.
So
So
17?
17. Okay, so then it's me, Avor, and the elk. That's a fucking sitcom I'd watch. Um,
Me, Avor, and the elk. Yeah.
Goodwin, Avor, and Elkie McElkerson. Uh,
Elkie McCaribou.
Carrie
Caribou. Yep.
Carrie Boo. All right. Well, Goodwin just took 11. Let's see, 11 plus 3 plus 5, and his ass is on the ground. So it's his turn. So he's going to use 15 feet of
Oh,
movement
hold on.
okay.
The horses run a short distance away.
Okay. So
I rolled
presumably
a
we,
22.
oh, nice. Oh, like for their essentially con Their yeah, I guess that's Constitution for their courage save.
I didn't roll Constitution. I just rolled. Do they run away?
Oh, okay. Wait, you rolled a 22?
Yes.
Cool. Go ahead and roll
Yes.
that. Wait, you rolled a 22 for do they run away? So that would be a yes. That means they ran away. So you're just saying they ran a short distance away.
Yeah. They're war
Okay.
horses. They're not going to completely fuck off, but they're
Yeah.
like,
They're like they'll deal with it.
I'm
We'll
going to get
we'll
out of the way.
yeah. Okay, so roll the D100 again.
36.
36 is NPC action. Uh so because the elk is the result of the new NPC role, it doesn't make sense for it to be any other NPC. Um I'm gonna put the elk there for that one. Uh,
Maybe the elk fucking yells at the horses to fuck off.
yeah, the elk is like, "Get the fuck out of here!" Um,
And the horses are like, don't have to ask us twice.
all right, Carrie, we're out. Um,
Yeah.
roll a d4 though, just to see what the die say. It doesn't make sense for it to be any NPC other than the elk, but roll the d4,
3.
3, and then roll a d10.
5.
That is in fact the elk. On the chart, a 3, the 3 and the 5 is the elk. So even the die are like, yes, it's obviously the fucking elk. What else is it going to be? Is it going to be the fucking
Yeah.
sovereign in another city? No. Okay, so roll 2D100 for the action, and we're going to see what this fucking elk does. I mean, it kicked my ass. We already know that.
84
84
and 58.
and 58. Huh. 84 is stop, and 58 is needs. That's interesting. When you said the first one though, stop, I was like, it's gonna just like it attacked once, knocked my ass on the ground, and now it's gonna stop. So stop
Yeah, because
needs.
maybe it sees the horses and they're like, you are like me.
You are
You are
yeah.
similar to me.
Where are you going,
Get the fuck
other
out.
other hoofed animal? Stop needs. That's interesting. Like, what does it need? Did it just want to knock me on my ass? Did it just need to assert dominance? It's not trying to kill me.
Maybe.
Is it trying to kill me? Do you want to roll for that? Does it want to kill? Go to it.
67.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, if it's 50-50, that's a no. But that's the question: is how would it even communicate that? Okay. Well, okay. I'm going to roll. Since that's the case for its actions, which is funny because it's not really an action so much as it's like an internal sentiment. I guess roll. Would it be charisma? I'm trying to think of which stat would refer to trying to wordlessly communicate something. Um,
I feel like that would be
I'd say wisdom.
persuasion.
Okay. Well, so its charisma is +0, its wisdom is +2, its intelligence is -2. So I would say roll weirdly the opposite of insight. It's trying to convey something, and basically, I want to
Perception?
yeah, it's like perception but in reverse. It's trying to be percepted. Basically, I want to give it a decent plus, and its wisdom is +2. So basically just roll the d20 +2 in terms of it conveying essentially with its eyes.
18.
Okay. So now what is Carlsbad's perception is +1. I rolled a 19 perception, which means Carlsbad gets the message. This, I honestly, presumably, what I think happens then I gotta chill out on my use of the word presumably. What I think happens is it hits him. It misses the first swing. It hits him with the second one, knocks him on the ground, and then front two legs comes and stands like with a hoof on each side at his waist and is looking him in the face and
Yeah,
not
it does
attacking.
the angry bunny stomp.
Yeah,
One on each side of you.
yeah. Like on top of like to the point that it's making it clear it could stomp my fucking skull right now and I would have no recourse, but it's not. And it's like face like it's getting its face close to Goodwin's to like make him understand I could eat your face right now, but I'm choosing not to. Um as he as that's happening for his action, Goodwin, given that you let me have the pistols, Goodwin has pulled his revolvers and is like on his back and is just like guns up ready to shoot up into the stomach of this thing. But his perception was high enough. He rolled a 19, so he's getting the message that like this thing's not trying to kill him. So then now here's the question. Given that we know there is um, some sort of uh, horticultural issue plaguing this animal, um, I would ask you to roll the 2D100 for motivation. Given that the dice know this is, like the situation with this creature, what is its motivation? What does it want in this interaction?
85
85,
and 6.
85, and 6. So character motivation. 85 is reveal, and 6 is art. Hmm. Is it? See, immediately I thought of like hieroglyphics in a cave. Like it
I'm so
does,
happy that's what your brain went to because that's also what my brain went to.
yeah, or maybe not a
It was
cave.
like the Nazca lines or something like that.
Yeah, maybe it's not a cave. This is an external area, right? And it's a settlement. It's not just a building. It's not like a temple that's run down. It's a settlement.
But the cave is what was being investigated by the
So
peoples.
here's the question then. Does this creature actually know you were looking in the wrong place? Like, because now my second thought is immediately I go to the idea of a ring of standing stones, and it's not in the cavern. It's like off to the side. Like maybe there's this settlement, there's the cave. It's like all very obvious. You look at the settlement, you go, oh yeah, the settlement was built here because the cave's there. But then there's like something that's not as well known or was not as well known amongst the people, but there's like off on the edge, like the eastern side of the settlement, there is a very faint trail. You follow this trail up for, maybe a mile, and there's this small clearing with like standing stones or a standing stone or a well or so there's essentially something that was ruined, it wasn't in use, and it wasn't being investigated because they were there to investigate the cavern. But this creature knows about it. Maybe that's where it was nomming away. And maybe there are carvings in that area where this creature, this caribou, is like, I know common. I know these people were here researching, but they were looking in the wrong place. And I know this thing is out here. And so it's trying to reveal to them now, hey, there's shit you might be interested in over in this place. Now,
That just doesn't feel right.
well, all that having been said, I will roll for is that the case? If you say it doesn't feel right, I'll make it like 40%, 35% chance. Like it's very unlikely, essentially.
Yeah, that just doesn't feel. That doesn't feel right.
What do you want to say?
Doesn't feel
25%
right.
chance then?
Yeah.
Okay. So 25% chance is that whole scenario the case? 58. It is not the case. So Goodwin, I love the idea that Goodwin essentially ran through that. He's like, "Is this what you're trying to tell me, boy? Is Timmy down in the well?" And the thing above him with this like fucked up bloody drool is like, "Would you like to roll on motivation again?" given that we have reveal art and we can kind of
Yeah.
stack a couple more and see if we get a better sense of what this thing wants.
7
7.
and 4.
Attain anger.
I mean, this thing's pissed.
It's pissed. It's hurt. Now, okay, I'm going to ask this one. Was there a member of the team named Arthur? 23. Reveal art is not.
Is Arthur who it was eating?
Is Arthur
Oh,
the
no.
name of the guard? Is Arthur the guard that the caribou was eating the face of? Oh, I dropped my die again.
3.
Who rolled a 3?
No, I was saying that was the third time you dropped your dice.
Oh, okay. Is Arthur the guard that the caribou was eating? It's a 46. So on a 50-50, that's a yes. So what does it do? It just goes and reveals art? Or is there something on the body of the guard it was eating? Was it not eating the guard? Was it essentially rummaging and it found something on him?
Yes, it was rummaging.
So at that point, I guess the perception roll can follow from that. Like at this point, Goodwin's holding the guns up and has he's pulled the hammers. He's ready to go. And the caribou's not attacking, and it realizes he's not shooting.
Yet?
Well, it's not attacking. He's not shooting. He's gonna hold his action then because it's
Yeah, because
above him.
it used both of its actions already, so technically it's the next. Technically, it's Avor's turn, isn't it?
Um, I believe it is. Come back up here. Oh,
Or is it your turn?
I believe it's my turn. It is Goodwin's turn. So given that the caribou is directly over top of him, he's not going to use the 15 feet. He used his action to pull both guns, pull the hammers. Um, but with the two perception checks, he's got the sense that this thing isn't trying to kill him because you rolled to see if it was trying to kill him, right? And you rolled a no.
At this point, correct.
Okay, so
But hurting him is different than killing him.
yeah, 100%. So he is holding his action then. Well, no, he used his action to pull the guns, unless you consider that a interact with object.
Uh,
If he holds
I
his
would say it's
action,
an action because he's prone.
okay. So he's not holding his action then. He's not moving. Does he have any bonus actions? He does have a bonus action that will be helpful here. Um, he is going to he's going to rage, essentially as a method of defense because it's going to have any more bludgeoning damage. Yes. So he's raging. Um, we have to come up with a better term for the use of rage just to have damage because Laz has that, but he calls it celestial defense because he's an ASMR. But the idea of rage as just
Barbaric defense.
yeah, send it barbaric defense. He's going to engage his barbaric defenses. Um, he's got his pistols at the ready to go. And there's been a perception here, and it is now Avor's turn. Is it Avor's probably like 10 or 15 feet back, right? He's not in melee.
I mean, he got knocked down by.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Goodwin got knocked into him. Did he get knocked down or did he just get knocked back?
Knocked down. I rolled 17.
Okay.
Asking, did he get knocked down?
Hmm.
So.
He got knocked down, but he'll get up again. You're never going to keep him down. He got knocked
So he'll
down.
use
Okay.
half his movement to get up,
Hmm.
and then he's gonna pull out his fucking sword.
Okay.
And I guess make an attack towards the elk.
So it's the elk. He gets two. He does get two attacks. He has multi attack, so he can make two longsword or radiant ray attacks. So he's going to use the longsword.
Yeah.
Is using in both hands?
Yes.
Okay, so he's got a plus
21
five.
to hit.
21. Elk's got an AC of 14. 21's gonna hit.
So 2d10 plus 2.
Yep. Plus 3d6 for the radiant.
2d10. 2d10. Ooh, that is 13, 14, 15 points of slashing damage. And 8 points of radiant damage.
Yep. So he with the elk over top of Goodwin, looking down at Goodwin, fucking Avor just comes in with the two hands, hits, and
18
the
hit on the second.
18 will also hit. Yep. Oh, he's gonna okay. I was gonna say he's gonna kill the thing, but it's got 70 hit points, so it's
15
probably
points of damage, of slashing damage.
15 plus two or 15 including the two.
17 points of slashing damage. Oof. And 15 points of radiant damage.
Woo! It's it's darn good we gave that thing the maximum amount of hit points because if we gave it the average, which is 42, it would be dead right now because he just did
On top of
55.
you.
He ju- he just did 55 points of damage to that thing. Uh,
Fuck yeah, he did.
Now here's the question. It is the elk's turn, and given that Avor just attacked it, is it going to attack
Make
Avor
a dexterity saving throw.
for goody? For goody.
For goody, yeah.
Dexterity saving throw. Wow, that's
I
not
have a
my.
nickname for you for Goodwin's character, or for Cap's character. I have a nickname for you. Goody. His last name's Goodwin.
It could be Winnie. Um,
Woody, yeah.
that's interesting. My dex save is not my highest save. It's still plus five. So dex save is a 23.
Oh, he saves. He
Beautiful.
saves as the elk just kind of does like that like trot thing where
Mm,
they like move, and
yep,
it
yep,
puts its hoof right where your face was,
yep. As soon as it starts
and you're able to just
rear,
roll out of the way.
I was gonna say, as soon as it starts rearing up, the guns like this, he tucks the guns over like this and just starts rolling. And it's like I'm rolling. If I get stomped, I get stomped. I'm rolling. And yeah, those the hoof comes right back down. So it is the elk's turn. You can make that you can roll to see if it's going to attack.
The elk is going to attack Avor.
Avor, poor Avor.
Oof, that's a 6.
A
It's
six
also
to hit.
defense.
A
Yeah,
six doesn't. A six does not hit on an AC of 17.
yeah, nope. And then that's a 9. It's
Nope.
fucked up.
Yep. Yep. So that's 0 and 0. Well, well then I guess so this is sort of metagaming, but like the question in this case is since we know as like DM side that the elk knows something about Arthur. That
I mean, the elk doesn't
they
necessarily know something about Arthur. It could have just been when it was rummaging around and it revealed something that they're
it
gonna find later.
yes. So yeah. So basically something that might have been like underclothing that
Like
the
a tattoo on his chest.
right the caribou like chewed the clothing or tore the clothing and revealed it so that when they do investigate, which they were going to do anyway, it is now visible when it would not have been earlier. No, wait till we get that. No, no.
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Then
I know
save
what it
it.
is.
Save it. We're not there yet because Goodwin's gonna roll out, and now that he's at range, although I think he does have sharpshooter, I'm gonna double check that. I think he has sharpshooter, so I think he can fire the revolver at range or in melee. Fighter, barbarian. He has 12 levels of fighter. He has improved critical, remarkable athlete, ability score, sharpshooter. Okay, yeah. You have mastered ranged weapons, can make shots at others. Attacking at long range doesn't impose disadvantage. Your ranged weapons ignore three-quarter and half cover. I thought that let him fight, or I thought that chronic familiar, he got that back there. Dexterity. Doesn't sharpshooter let you fire? I might be thinking a close quarter shooter. Either way, did it drop out again? Did I yeah. Can you guys hear me? This is we're gonna quit Discord. All right. We're gonna minimize that. I'm still talking just in case you guys can hear me. I don't know if you can or not. Let's bring Discord back up. I don't know why it keeps dropping out. Caps Computers is having issues. M is in a call. Cap is joining the call. Let's see if we're back in the call.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, there we are.
There we go.
Hey, ta-da. Anyway,
Difficult technicalies.
uh-huh. Anyway, um, he's not in melee
Rocks
at
fall,
this.
everybody dies.
Well, that's a question. Is he still in melee, or when he rolled, did it move out of melee? Did he move out of melee? I'm just
I'd
gonna
say he's
ask.
probably still in melee, just not under the hoofs.
Yeah, is he still in melee? 23. He is still in melee. Um, so that's the question. Does sharpshooter allow him to? Because pistols are ranged weapons. Does sharpshooter allow him to fire in melee with pistols without it being a disadvantage?
That I'm not sure.
I'm gonna double check that. I thought that it did. It doesn't say that here though. Sharpshooter 5e.
I have so many ideas.
Oh, snap. Okay. Attacking. Let's see. You have mastered ranged weapons, can make shots at others find impossible. Attacking at long range does not impose disadvantage. Your ranged weapon attacks ignore half and three-quarter coverage. Before you make an attack with a ranged weapon you're proficient with, you can choose to take a -5 penalty to the attack. If it hits, you do an extra 10 damage. So no. Is it close quarter? You know what? I think it's gunner. Now that I'm thinking of it. Let's see. Gunner is you increase your dex by 1, you gain proficiency with firearms, you ignore the loading property of firearms, and being within 5 feet of a hostile creature does not impose disadvantage. That's what it is.
Mm.
Now the question is, did I give him the gunner feat? Let's see here at 4th level. Yes, I did. Okay, at 6th level. Yep, because that's why it gave him a 1. Okay. So, I am not at disadvantage. So, uh at that point, seeing it go after Avor, despite the fact that he got the sense it wasn't trying to kill him, is he gonna shoot it? Is he gonna try to shoot it non-lethally? That's like it's very unlikely. And that's not a joke. Is
I
he
know.
is he going to try to shoot it non-lethally? And like I said, I think that's unlikely because like shooting an animal non-lethally is like more inhumane than just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a two
But you
though.
can't save every animal, Cap.
Uh, the die beg to differ. That's a two. He is going to attempt to shoot it non-lethally.
Or maybe try to scare it.
Maybe.
Not hit
Uh,
it, but like big bang make
big,
elk go, ah.
big boom, big bang. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so then, essentially, then it's just an intimidation roll.
Mm-hmm.
Unless is well, that's the question. Is he going to shoot it with the guns, with the revolvers? That's a 90 and a zero. So it's either a 90 or a 100. He is not going to shoot it. Um, so yeah, he's going to big boom it. So essentially, he's just going to roll. I'm not going to roll an attack roll. I'm going to roll an intimidation roll.
Okay. Do it.
Uh, now the question for you is if I roll the intimidation and it rolls whatever, it doesn't roll high enough. Do you want to roll to see if it runs? And essentially, the
Mm-hmm.
the likelihood is higher.
Yeah.
Okay, so intimidation. Well, intimidation's +5. That's decent. Let's see here. Oh, damn, that's a 24. That's a 19 on the die. So that's a 24 intimidation. So I guess it's a charisma saving throw or whatever's higher for it. Um, I'll say a wisdom save because it's a +2. So it's a roll of d20 plus.
I rolled a 7 on the die.
So that's a 9 wisdom save against a 24 intimidation check. So, uh, do you want to, given those numbers, do you want to roll for whether it runs or do you,
I just did, and I rolled a 29.
it runs?
Sayonara, bitch.
And it runs.
Mm-hmm.
Does it run in
Very
the
far
direction of,
away.
does it run in the direction of the horses though?
Yes.
Does it pass the horses and just keep going? Or does it get like,
Yes.
it passes the horse? Okay. If it attacked our horses, I was going to put it down. Anyway,
I just said, is it going to attack the horses? And I rolled a 79, so no.
smart, smart elk. Good job, Carrie. Gone and get. Anyway, that fungus in your brain will take care of you eventually. Anyway, everything's.
Yeah, if not the 50 some hit point or 50 some points of damage.
Hmm. It might actually already be dead and just not realize it.
The thing in its brain is just has taken control of its body.
Hmm. Yep. So what I'm hearing is that we now know that in the world there is a mushroom-brained caribou
Yes.
in the world of
At
this
least.
campaign. At least one. Yep. All right. Well, we've cleared the site of immediate hostilities. So there
So
were
I
only.
see a
Mhm.
dead body with its shirt ripped open.
I was gonna say there were there two of them. There were two guards, right? Are both guards'
Two guards,
bodies?
but they wouldn't be next to each other. So you see
No.
one dead body so far.
Okay. So I will. I guess I'll roll investigation at advantage since it'll be both Avor and uh, Goodwin investigating.
Yes.
I mean that's your call, or do you want me to just roll regular
No, that
investigation?
sounds good. Cause
Okay.
cause Avor's gonna be like, so this is where I found this guy, blah 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 blah. I found this over here. This thing was
Hmm.
tipped over. So he's giving you spark notes
Hmm.
context. So yes, you would get advantage.
The funny thing is, Avor's investigation is +3. So let's roll. We'll roll both because I know Dustin does that sometimes. He'll have each character roll, and you just take the higher roll. It's essentially
Fucking
advantage
cocked.
+2,
16.
6. So let's see if I had rolled at advantage because his is 16, so we're cool there. Nat 20.
Yeah, so we're taking yours.
It doesn't matter because 16, 22, like what's the difference? I mean, other than six, but
What's the
not the point.
difference? Uh-huh.
Six is the difference, but that's not the point. So yes, we investigate. We investigate the body of Arthur,
Mm-hmm.
um, who's yeah, his shirt is torn open, and you know what we find, right? You already had that epiphany.
Yes. Uh the wound on his chest is very similar to wounds and marks found at other sites. Nobody's been killed yet, but
Mhm.
there have been people who've been wounded by a specific type of blade that
Mm,
leaves a very specific looking cut.
okay, so this is something Goodwin would recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's seen it before, and it's something. Would Avor not have recognized it as something like other than just a? Well, he wouldn't have. No, I guess he wouldn't have seen it because like it cut through the
He would have seen the
clothing.
cut in the shirt, but he wouldn't have seen the
Right,
cut on the body.
right, yeah, okay. So, but Goodwin has seen this cut on bodies before. Here's a question.
Yeah, on wounded people from
So
previous.
here's a question, and I'll say this is I don't know what the likelihood is, but do you want to say it's 20%? Does Goodwin have this mark, this scar, or would
No,
he?
because
He
it would have
wouldn't.
been unless he's tangled with the looters before, which he hasn't.
Hmm. I'm gonna say then it's a 5% chance because that's the nature of the mythic uh, fate chart. Because maybe the leaving a possibility leaves a possibility that maybe it wasn't one of the looters themselves. Maybe it was the blade in the hands of someone else. Um,
So,
so
to
I
give
want.
you an idea of what the wound looks like,
Mhm.
this is the blade that left the wound.
Okay, so it would have like a wide cut and then like
Two
a
smaller cuts on
too
each
small
side
on the outside. Okay, so
where he's
then
being
honestly,
stabbed.
yeah, 5%, five or less, and Goodwin has a scar like this. That's not what I rolled. I dropped it again.
So that's your fourth, actually.
Oh, is it four? Okay. Does Goodwin have a scar that matches this? 54. He doesn't. Which,
But yeah, people who have been wounded and then things that were maybe hit by it during like a fight.
mm,
He's
hmm
seen this pattern before, and
hmm
so that's how he's going to know that this
hmm
group of individuals
is
is the group
connected,
that is connected, is the group that took the archaeologists because they've
mm.
seen like
And they
wooden
know.
crates and
Mm,
people who have gotten bad injuries but not been killed, things
hmm
like that, that have had this pattern in it and have heard accounts of, from people who have been attacked, that
hmm
one of the people that attacked them was carrying a weapon like this.
Okay. So then Goodwin would know the organization specific. It's not just a matter of I've seen this wound before. This must be the same group. It's he knows the group like it's like knowing the name of the organization that carries the weapon that does this.
Well, the person. It's not all of them that carry the weapon. It's one
Oh, okay.
specific person in the group.
Okay. So it's like the jackal. Like he doesn't he might not know the he might not know the government name of this individual, but he knows there is a specific person, probably knows some of that person's affiliations. Um, or maybe is it someone he would know is like a mercenary for hire, and so he's like, if this person has been hired by, oh, okay,
No, it's one of the people because it's a very tight knit group of individuals that are doing these lootings.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 4 or 5 people,
Okay.
and they're all very skilled in their
Mm-hmm.
own respects.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and one
The,
of the people has a staffed blade.
mm, so they're an anti-adventuring party. They've all got their specialties and their skill sets, and they're
Yeah,
good.
they're like the fucking Italian job.
I dig it. I dig it. All right. So we were sent to find. So we were sent to find information or figure out who uh who took the archaeologist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then this would be the piece of information that would be like, this is the group that took them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um, so then we're probably looking also for an indication of where, or would we have an idea, or would Goodwin have an idea of where, or is that something they haven't quite figured out yet?
So you know from Avor that he was able to find footprints, tracks, things like
Mm,
that around the camp, down the mountain, but things were so recently um left. Like
mm,
there was a cup of tea or something that was still steaming.
mhm,
Like not on the fire. Like it had been just poured maybe a few minutes prior to him showing up.
mhm,
He knows that he would have passed someone coming down the mountain and there's no trail going back up. He would have gone into the cave, not found anybody in there. So he is going to theorize that they were probably taken um by some kind of spell.
mhm, mhm. So like they
So
essentially a helm of teleportation. How many people were in the archaeologist group?
after the two were killed, I believe 8.
So 8 in the party. If it was helms of teleportation, it would have required at least 2 then, because you
Yeah,
can
I don't
take
think it was a
up
helm of
to.
teleportation, but I think that
Well,
they figured out
do
some
you
way.
do you know what it was? Like as the DM?
That's what I've been trying to figure out. I don't know if I want to make like a pretty much I
Mm,
guess my thought is that like maybe there's like manacles that
mm,
allow someone to take someone via teleportation that's not
mm.
willing.
Gotcha.
It's something that bounty hunters use.
Well, you could do something with plane shift. You could do sort of a like and you could wrap this in world too. You could have it that somebody in the organization, in their organization, is like a highish enough level wizard that they've been tinkering with spells. Because plane shift or banishment you can use on an
Mm,
unwilling person.
I know what it is.
Hmm.
I know what it is. It's tree stride.
Okay, so can you use that on unwilling people?
I think so because it's whatever goes through the portal. So they
Uh,
could theoretically just push the people through the portal and follow
mhm.
behind them, kind of thing, or have one person ahead, push them through, and follow behind.
Let's see. You gain the ability to enter a tree and move from inside it to inside another tree. This is both trees must be living and at the same size as you. You must move. You must use 5 feet of movement to enter the tree. Instantly know the location of all other trees of the same kind within 500 feet. And as part of the move used to enter the tree, can either pass into one of those trees or step out of the tree you're in. You appear in a spot of your choice. You can use this transportation ability once per round for the duration. So tree stride itself. I think you're talking about transport via plants, right?
Maybe that's what it is. It's whatever. What is it? Blah, blah, blah. It's
What?
whatever Keyleth used in Vox Machina.
Okay. So transport via plants. This spell creates a magical link between a large or larger inanimate plant. That's not An inanimate plant is a dead plant. That's bad wording. I understand what it's saying now. An inanimate plant within range and another plant at any distance on the same plane of existence. You must have seen or touched the destination plant at least once before. For the duration, any creature can step into the target plant and exit from the destination plant by using 5 feet of movement. So it doesn't say they have to be willing. Any creature can
Yeah.
step into, yes. So it doesn't say that they have to be willing. So they have to step. I would read that as they have to physically walk through it. You can't pick them up and carry them through it,
Yeah,
but
they could be pushed
they
through.
can be forced to walk through it. Right. Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
So they would have to be conscious. Yeah, they'd have to be conscious because they have to move under their own power, but not necessarily their own volition.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Okay, cool. And that, yeah, that is to any place. Now, that we don't know that though, right? That's you as DM saying that.
So he would have theorized that some kind of spell or some kind of
Mhm.
they either traveled via a spell or maybe some kind of like flight or
Mhm.
airship or something.
Like a fly
Um
spell or
yeah.
well, I guess so. So we did investigation on the body specifically. Um, if I may roll Arcana, this is basically to look for traces of magical use.
Sure.
So this is only a +2. Let's see. That's a 12. So I don't pick up anything that I am like, yes, this happened. Like I would say if like I rolled a
You're
19,
picking up the magic of the area.
yeah.
Like it's an innately magical area in general. Like
Hmm.
there's ley lines and stuff that make this what it is. So you can't really discern anything beyond earth magic, if that makes sense.
Well, I'm a barbarian fighter too, so I'm not particularly magically tuned outside of things I've personally like teleportation. I know the feeling of teleportation because I've done it, not because I know how to cast it. So it's like if I'm in
But
an
you
area,
can feel the magic in the earth.
mhm. um so then secondarily because so do you as the DM do you know specifically how you want them to have moved?
Mhm. Yeah, I knew I was like it's either a teleportation spell or something of the sort. So
Mhm.
the plant one is perfect.
Okay, because then I was well, and I will do this too. Then I will roll investigation for the area. So essentially, he's looking for um thinking in terms of like if they had flying mounts, looking for the tracks of flying mounts. Um,
Okay. Yeah, make an investigation check, please.
which is also +2, which is another 12. I think at this point, having heard the theory, he's like, "Yeah, you're probably right. Like I just beat shit up. Like I'm not the thinker." Um, so, uh,
Um, make a perception check.
perception +1. Let's see if this is better than my investigation. That is a nat 20 for a 21.
Okay. So you look around the site. It's been a couple days. So things don't smell super great. I mean, there's two bodies. Like you can definitely tell that there have been scavengers
There's
that
like
have come up and
there's like 1.8 bodies if we're being fair.
yeah. Like there's scavengers that have come up and eaten, but not a lot. I mean, you're kind of surprised that there's not as much
Carnage.
uh swirling for. Not as much predator activity as you would have expected.
Mm-hmm.
Um and but it is kind of cold up here, so like, you know, they're not they haven't been sitting in the sun, if that makes sense. Like it's
Yeah.
cool enough.
It's really just fungus brain back there that's been picking around.
Yeah. But you're looking around. You see where things were just dropped. Um, you see lots of footprints. Um, there's areas where there's like blood splatter, where you
Mm,
can tell people were injured, but not enough blood that you don't think they're like dying. But someone got
mm.
fucking hit across the face, and their nose bled, and there's like little splatter and stuff like that. And
I got
so
fucked up by a giant elk. There's some of my
yeah,
blood back there.
and you notice that the trees nearby,
Mm,
there's pine trees, there's aspen trees with lighter bark, and you see a streak of red. And so going over and investigating this tree, you gather that this is probably the tree that was used
mm.
for the plant. What is it called?
Transport via plants. And the only reason I know it,
Transport by a plant.
the reason I remember it is because Trouble used it in the Wild Mount game to go to
Because
the Menagerie Coast.
there is there is a handprint on the tree
Mhm.
that it's strange. It doesn't look just like a handprint that was streaked across this way.
Mhm.
It looks like it's going into the tree.
Mhm.
And so you imagine that when the portal was open, somebody may have like grabbed onto the side of the tree as they were walking through, and it just
Mhm.
like smeared
Yeah.
and kind of embedded into the tree.
Mhm. I dig
So
it. Yeah.
you're fairly certain that the jackasses that have been looting museums and previous
Mhm.
sites kidnapped your team of archaeologists.
I'm going to cut a branch from that tree. I don't know. Goodwin doesn't, because he's not magically inclined. He doesn't know specifically that this is anything that would be useful. But in a very general sense, he's like, if they traveled magically through this tree, if I have a cutting of this tree and somebody else has the magical aptitude, maybe they can use this cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know that that's, I don't even, as Anthony, I don't know that's a thing that could be done, but like, it makes a weird sort of magical sense. So he's going to do that.
And see, I'd say it's probably around this point
Mm.
that oh no, I gotta think time frame wise. No, it would have been before you guys started your trek up the mountain. You would have
Mm.
gotten that message from the
Yeah, I think we were
the
still down.
sovereign's castle.
I think we were still down in the town. I don't even think we'd started up the road to the ruins.
So you're gonna start to piece together, okay, that guy had a map. This location was crossed off.
Mm. What's the next nearest location?
There's 5 locations. Doesn't
Mm.
necessarily mean it's the nearest.
Mm.
So it's about that point that you're like, fuck, we're gonna need 5 teams of individuals, capable
Mm.
individuals who can go in and take out people and rescue.
Mm.
And so you're kind of gathering that information and being like, okay, pretty
Mm.
sure it's these guys. We know that they've looted these other places in the past. There's
Mm.
5 other sites that they could be at. So I would bet you that one of these 5 sites is where our people are going to be.
Mm. So so the surmission, the surmisification is that they took our archaeologists to the next site, not like take them back to like a
That it's a potential that they
mm,
potentially took them to one of these 5 sites.
okay. Damn right. Well,
So he's going to go back and be like, we need to put together 5 teams.
so oh my God, what did we say? Oh, uh so well, So then, okay, so then this scene then is complete, right? We've made our submission, we've made our surmisification, we've got the helms of teleportation. We can teleport out from this area. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and so like that's likely the conversation that was happening between uh Goodwin and Avor of, map team. We know they went through here, blah blah blah, and then going, okay, we need 5 teams. The higher tech's going to put them together. So we need to get the information back to the chancellor. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we can contact them directly without physically going to them. Honestly, physically going to them, I think Goodwin too at this point in this location would think going directly to them physically probably not a good idea on the off chance that this was uh, a situation where they were being drawn out so that they could be followed back or something like that. Um, and so it's a situation of we need to get the information to them. So we're probably going to use the book of sketch slash sending stones. We're going to use the books to get the
I mean, you
information.
could just go back to the higher tech. The higher tech is a whole fucking city.
Oh yeah, and that's what we're going to do. I think first we're going to get the information, and this is me thinking in terms of the story because we're going to get the information to the chancellor and the sovereign. We don't know where they are. Like at the very least, the chancellor would not have said. The chancellor wouldn't have even told Goodwin we're taking the sovereign
Yeah.
to the higher tech because if Goodwin gets captured, there's a possibility that that information can be extracted from him.
So probably what he would do is there's probably like an assistant at
Mm,
the higher tech
mhm,
that you can be completely vague with and be like, um, I need you to put together 5 teams or put together a list of people
mhm,
to potentially go on some kind of mission. Like
mhm,
be very vague about it, but it's just like I need a list of names
mhm.
by the time I get back.
Give me a short list. Not a short list. It needs to be. I like the idea too that they have a kind of an is it NORAD? They sort of have a color coding system where they're like, I need an orange team, I need a red team, and that's like that's saying that the importance of the mission this team is for. But if you say I need a green team, then you're like, all right, I need 3 to 4 people of this level of experience. If you say I need a red team, then like by the book they're like, okay, we're going to need 5 people who have a minimum of 12 levels of experience, you know what I mean, like essentially, so that way you can be like,
Yeah.
okay, we need 5 orange teams, so they know, okay, we need to find 25 to 30 names versus going, we need
Mm-hmm.
3 green teams. They're like, all right, we need about 10 names, and you know what I mean, like it's a real shorthand
Yeah.
way of saying we need this many people of this level of experience and skill. um,
Yeah, and it could even be a like
mhm,
a red herring of like I don't know if
mhm,
you have been informed yet, but there was an attempt on the sovereign's life.
mhm,
Um we need a short list of names of people to go like either protection detail or to go investigate leads on who may have asked for this to happen.
mhm,
So it could be a red herring of, to the
mhm,
assistant cuz trust no one.
right.
And then it's when you get those people in person be like, "So the reason we actually brought you here
Mhm. That
is
that thing did happen. That thing's taken care of.
yeah."
All right. So, well, then, for funsies, we kind of said that this made the most sense. But did the chancellor and the guard escort the sovereign to the Hierotek for protection? That is probably likely. At the very least,
Mhm.
it's likely. So it's like a 65. Are we at chaos factor 5 or 6? Are we just leaving it at 6 at this point?
I think it is.
At a six. Okay. So I think so if it's likely, it's a 75% chance. Did the chancellor take the sovereign to the higher deck? 37. So yes, that is where they were escorted to. Um, so it's only been a couple of hours since Goodwin and Avor left. Uh, what's the name of the city?
Yeah, it's been like maybe 2 hours.
Yeah. Um, would that have been a were would the chancellor have used magical means of transportation to get the sovereign to the hierotek? 79, no. So they physically, yeah. Even if it was like, yeah. So
Did they take an airship?
did they take aerial transportation? So whether it was an airship or a damselfly, did they take aerial transportation? 95, they did not. Huh. Did they
Did
take
they take a nautical?
I was going to say aquatic. I have two more. Yeah. Did they take aquatic transportation? 29. I'm also going to ask this though. Did they take subterranean transportation? 52. Okay. So they took nautical transportation. So did they get horses? They went to the hostler to get horses, right?
Yes, yes, they did.
Okay. So then probably what happened is there is a smallish port town, probably 2 hours from Cyprus. And so they took the horses to this port town to get a boat and probably a fishing boat. Like, I love the idea of the head of state of this country knowing, like, the safest way for me to travel right now is amongst the fucking normal people. So
Yeah.
did they charter a fucking fishing boat? Uh 22. They chartered a fishing boat. And given the image that we generated of the Hierotech, we know the Hierotech, a massive city, is also a massive port city. Like it has rivers and a seacoast running through it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's essentially built on a delta because there's all those rivers and that seacoast. So they chartered a fishing boat on a 22. What is the nature of the random event? A 35. 35 is NPC action. So if you would roll a d4.
3.
3. Okay, interesting. So roll a d6.
2.
2. Okay. So then roll 2d100 to see what the action is, and then I'll tell you which NPC this was. This is going to be very interesting because it doesn't at all make sense for this NPC to be part of this random event.
14
Hmm.
and 50.
So 14 is block and 50 is investment.
It was 40. It was 40 and 0, so 50.
Okay, okay. So block investment. The NPC was horse number one,
Ah.
which makes no sense. So, we're gonna ignore that part, and since the
Do you want me to roll again?
uh yes, we might as well add the fishing captain or the fishing boat captain as an NPC. So essentially, there's four NPCs. This would make sense for it to be. But yeah, go ahead and roll the d4 and see what comes up.
4.
Nope, that's horse one, horse two, and the elk again. So roll a d6 since it was a 4.
3.
3 is horse two. Yeah,
I mean, I would take the animals out of it.
yeah. Well, okay. So then, if we take the animals out of it, it's just a D. It's just it's not a D. It's a D10. So just roll a D10 then.
One.
That's Avor. So, um, no, it makes the most sense since it is. It makes the most sense for it to be the chancellor, the sovereign, the guard, or the fishing boat captain. Those are the four people
Yeah.
it makes
So
any sense for it to be. Um,
yeah.
so I will put them on a list here. I will
Four.
randomize them. Well, I will randomize them here. And okay, so roll a d4.
One.
That's the guard. Um, so block investment is he's protecting the sovereign.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an interesting question. Does someone in this little port town would almost certainly recognize. So she's probably pulling that Thor from Thor Ragnarok thing where she's got the hooded cloak on and she's like trying to just like I'm just a random fucking person in the town. So I guess the question is in this little town, does the does anyone recognize
Hold on.
her?
I
Go
got an
ahead.
idea.
Is it the boat captain? I mean, the boat captain would be the person who would make the most sense.
Someone recognizes her because their family made her cloak.
I love it. I love it. And so like I guess here's the question:
I rolled a 5.
it's a is this a friend is this a friendly encounter? Is this a courteous encounter? Almost
Yes.
certainly. Yeah. Yeah, I rolled a 14. So
I rolled a 21.
essentially the guard is currently acting as like a celebrity's bodyguard and this is a paparazzi moment. The guard's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, it's great. Shut the fuck up." Like, yeah, no, it's fine. It's great. It's fantastic. But be quiet, okay? There's shit going on. And he has no tact. This is not his thing. He is I kill people who so he's like, just get the fuck out. And then Sovereign's like, it's okay, everything's all right, everything's fine. We're just gonna and is like leading them off to the side, like I'm gonna talk to them, it's gonna be fine. We're gonna be chill, we're gonna be and he's like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We got no time for this bullshit. We gotta and she's like, it's you'll have to forgive him. He's very stressed out. He's not used to this sort of thing. And the chancellor leans over. First time?
Yep.
You know,
That's going to be
so
the name of this episode. First time?
first time. Do you speak common and first?
Christ.
Beautiful. So yeah, so they hop a fishing boat to the Hyrotech. Um do we know how far apart they are? The Hyrotech and the Sovereign City. I would assume they're a few like by boat, they're probably a few days apart, right?
Um,
Is the Hyrotech
Give me a second.
I'm gonna roll is the Hyrotech more than 3 days from
96 miles.
nine oh did you roll a D100 for it? So 96 miles, that can actually be calculated because D&D Beyond has a vehicles section. Uh, vehicles. And this is a keelboat, smallest sailing vessels. Yeah, so this is a keelboat. A keelboat has a speed of 3 miles per hour, 72 miles per day. So it's going to take them about a little over a day. It's going to take them a day and a half. Uh,
Okay.
unless they like grease they're
Which
like
is why it takes
this was
3
fun.
days
Yeah, yeah.
for
Uh,
Goodwin to find
mm,
Corinth, I think is his name.
this so Goodwin knows who he is by name, right? Like when the Chancellor's like, "I need you to go see Corinth," Goodwin's like, "I'm sorry, what? Do you know what happened last time?" He was, yeah, no, that Corinth. he's like, you're obviously talking about Corinth Jones, right? Not not that Corinth. You're talking about Corinth Smith? No, not Corinth. Couldn't possibly be. Yeah, excellent. Well, uh, I'm gonna take an extra healing potion for when I get punched in the face, and we'll see how it goes
Mhm.
from there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Good. Good.
yeah, it's gonna be fun. Good, good.
Good. Good. Good. Good.
Yes.
Yep.
Uh, we
Yeah. I
did
kind of.
decide. Go
I
ahead.
kind of love just like telling Morgan, "Hey,
Mhm.
when this guy knocks on your door, don't make it easy for him."
God, no, no. Um, we did. I don't remember if we said it on stream. I think we did. Yeah, his name is Caradoc Grant because his name is Cary Grant, right? The Chancellor. Is that what we're actually going with? Chancellor Grant. Chancellor Grant has a really nice ring to it. Yes, that's him.
Mhm.
Cool. Excellent.
What was the full name? It was
Caradoc.
Caradoc. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Amazing.
Perfect.
So um are Goodwin and Avor going to teleport back from the top of the mountain? This
I'd
is
say yes to the Hyrotech. So they're gonna
yeah,
beat the Chancellor there.
right. I was gonna say it's almost certain. There would have to be there would have to be something would have to happen for them not to. Um because they're basically gonna go get the horses and go right from there. So it's like there's like a 10% chance they don't. So a 90 or less. Do they teleport back to the higher tech from the mountaintop? That's a 94. I rolled a 94. So they don't. So here's the
I mean,
question
they
is
would.
but here's the question. As they're going to get the horses, does something interrupt them that causes them not to teleport? And this is immediately because like does something interrupt
As
them?
DM, I'm gonna say that no, they just teleport.
Does something interrupt them on their way back to the horses?
But I will tell you, I did roll a 22 as to if the horse agrees to teleport again.
I rolled a 44 on whether something interrupts them on their way back to the horse. So we both rolled random events for this same period of time. So I'm going to roll my random event. I know you've said as DM, but I'm going to roll my random event on the way back to the horses. That's 62 for me. For me, that is move away from a
I'm sorry,
thread.
what?
What?
What was your number?
62.
So was mine.
That's move away from a thread. So then, um, okay, there's a funny thing. Roll a d4, and I will roll a d4, and we'll see what we come up with. This actually makes an absurd amount of sense. Yep. I rolled a one.
I rolled a one as well.
So that thread is investigate the site, and they've completed that. So now the question is, what is the action? We know they're done that, but um, let's see. I will roll for the action of mine. You roll for the action of yours. Uh, okay, that's crazy. I
Big
just
roll.
rolled I just rolled 82 twice. I rolled two 82s.
Okay, I rolled a 94
Okay.
and an 85.
Okay. So you rolled travel success, which is
Okay.
they fucking teleport. I rolled 82 and 82 is separate riches. So I think for separate riches, one or the other of them finds something. at the site. Some
They
sort
loot the
of
bodies.
yeah, essentially, yeah, literally. They separate the riches from the body. Do we find anything so and that's why I was asking in terms of they were going to teleport. I was just wondering if something was going to happen before they did. Um, do they find anything significant on on the bodies or at the site other than what they would expect to find in terms of riches? Um, to be nice, I'm going to say it's a 40% chance. I want to say 35. I'm actually going to go 35. It's a one-third chance. Do they find anything significant? 41. Okay, so it's just general stuff. And probably for Goodwin, it's like a wedding ring on somebody's hand, or it's something where he's like, this is something I we ought not leave here.
Yeah.
Necklace, earring, like any like personal effects. Um, so yeah, they collect them up. They go get their horses. Their horses do does so you rolled for Avor's horse.
Yes.
Did we say 50-50?
I think so. Yeah.
Does Goodwin's horse agree to teleport again to the Hierotic? 51. Does Goodwin's horse stay behind on the mountain? 34. This is the most ridiculous subplot of this entire campaign. Does the horse, does Goodwin's horse stay behind on the mountain because it's concerned about the elk? 62. It does not stay behind for that reason. Does it stay behind just because it wants to retire to nature? 74. So I'm gonna roll for motivation. I know this is like totally beyond. This is literally just being
But it's
ridiculous.
ridiculous and I love it.
It's yeah, that's why and that's again why I love this system. What is Doses what is Quattro's motivation in staying behind on this mountain?
Dos Cuatro is his name.
Dos Quattro, he is Spanish.
Hmm.
He's like he's like Senor Goodwin, I'm going to stay behind on the mountain. You go ahead. Go tell your father. Bring this information. Go and take care of your business. Live your life as best you can. I will stay here.
And you just hear.
Oh no! I didn't drop it on the floor, it just landed on the table. So I rolled a 72, right? I think it's 72. I'm going to completely reroll. I don't know what I did. Okay, so I rolled a 79 and a 30 for motivation for a horse. Let's see here 79 character motivations. 79 is power and 2030 emotion free. Power free. It's the power of freedom. This horse just wants to be free.
That's fair.
This horse is like, I have done my duty I have done my duty to the sovereign and to my nation. I have earned retirement. I will stay here upon the
On a
mountain.
mountain.
I will stay here
Yes.
upon the mountain. I am the horse of the mountain. That's a completely separate campaign. We're gonna have a crazy ass one shot where we all play. I'm gonna play the horse. Somebody will play like a mountain goat. Somebody else will play a bear.
Yes, please.
Uh-huh. Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing.
It will literally pick up immediately where this one left off.
Yep. Amaze balls.
Fantastic. So is Avor
All
coming
right.
back? Is Avor coming back for the future adventures, or Avor's like, I'm going to the bar, leave me the fuck alone. Is Avor coming back for future adventures? I mean, honestly,
Maybe.
are we going to continue? Do you want to continue to use the mythic system, sort of half and half? like not fully, not to say that we fully relied on it here, because like obviously you as DM made certain choices without saying like I
I
don't
think
know.
if we're trying to figure out character stuff, if people want to, but I think
Mhm.
going forward we'll be back in 5e. This was just kind of to figure out
Mhm.
some backstory, some
Yeah.
precursor to the game on Friday.
Hmm. Well, and it's you can use Mythic in
Nope,
conjunction with 5e,
nope.
but
Sorry,
essentially the
that nope was not to you. That was to
oh no, you're good.
Ash.
Yeah, oh, yeah, no, you're no. Essentially, the idea would be like if you were going to use Mythic occasionally for, like you say, questions where you're like, I have no idea. I as the DM have no idea in this case, so I'm just going to roll for it. In those instances, you can get the doubles where you can get random events, and when you get random events, you can get NPC action. So that would be a case where Avor is an NPC. So we would just sort of keep those lists as these are elements that exist in the world. And if something occurs that pulls a random element, these are options. So if we roll NPC action and we're like, okay, these are the available NPCs, and you pull Avor, it's like, oh, fucking surprise, surprise, the tavern you're in, that motherfucker happens to be over at the bar. And surprise, surprise, he's part of the story again.